Wentworth A. Matthews. You see this mass exodus from brothers and sisters from Chicago, Detroit area, and pockets of Philadelphia and New York, leaving from the confines of America when there was a major snowstorm in Chicago in 1967, being headed by the late Adonenu Rabbeinu Ben Ami Ben Yisrael HaMoshiach, also known as Ben Ami, leaving from the confines of America, going into Liberia, 20 miles outside of Monrovia, Liberia, staying there for 2.5 years, and then finishing the migration to the land of Israel, where we sit today, in Dimona, Israel, northeastern Africa. You see the rise of the Moorish Science Temple and all these gangs. And remember, these gangs were heavily influenced by these resistant movements that was in the mainly centralized in the East Coast and even some parts of the West Coast, because we know that the Black Panthers started in the West Coast and Oakland, where Huey P. Newton, may he rest in completeness, and Professor Bobby Seale. So we know that that started in the West Coast, but the rest of the movements that I spoke about, you know what I mean, what the Nation of Islam originally started in Detroit. The Moorish Science Temple started in New Jersey and then made their central base in Chicago. The Hebrew Israelite movement, the oldest records we see is in Virginia. You know what I mean? We see it Israel Hill in Virginia. So all this started to push further into the East Coast, New York and Philly, where it became codified into the culture that we see today. Next slide. So now you got the Sun Ra Orchestra. When you look at the way we see Bambaataa dress, we can see that African Bambaataa, and I know a lot of people might say, well, why are you saying this name? Just call him Bam. And I am a historian. We know the accusations that was imposed on the man. We're not going to get into that. We're going to keep it strictly historical. So I'm going to say everybody's name so the next generation will know and have on historical record who these people are. So you got African Bambaataa, the one that is said to be the grandfather or one of the three grandfathers or father, excuse me, of hip hop, was heavily influenced by the Sun Ra Orchestra. And it was also influenced by Parliament Funkadelic. That's why when you look at, you know, Planet Rock video, and y'all all seen it, when you see the Planet Rock video, who they dress like? Who is African Bambaataa and all them dressed like? Parliament Funkadelic, Sun Ra Orchestra, right? Look at some of the original Sun Ra Orchestra videos, and you could clearly see that Bambaataa was heavily influenced. When you look at some of the old founding fathers of the original Universal Practical Knowledge, known as UPK, that started in 1969 in Harlem, New York, down 125th. Remember, they was rocking the spikes, the turbans, the spikes, the chains, the boots. Look at how the capes, look at how the old school Israelites from out of that Pacific school dress. And then go look at the video, The Message, with Grandmaster Flash. So you can also see, you know, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five with Melly Mel and all them cats. You can clearly see the Israelite influences within that. Go to the next slide. All this was influenced by the funk. See? Here we go again with the Sun Ra Orchestra again. Go to the next slide. I'm just showing certain pictures to show that there was this divine soul understanding. Now, this is me right here. When you go down to the right-hand side, the bottom right, you have here in the picture myself, the late Prince Asiel Ben Israel, the Master Jewel in the back, Prince Asiel's son next to him. And right behind me is Zaquin Absalom ben Shalomo. Absalom ben Shalomo is one of the original founding fathers of the Sun Ra Orchestra. He left from the Sun Ra Orchestra and wound up moving to Dimona, Israel, northeastern Africa, with the Hebrew Israelite community with Ben Ami, and been there for over 50 years. And he just recently died roughly around 6 months ago. So you seeing, remember I said knowledge was a part of the 5 elements of hip hop. And as you've seen so far, the last poets, Zaquin Daweed, leaving from the last poets, original member, going to Dimona. We see Zaquin Absalom ben Shalomo being an original member of the Sun Ra Orchestra, the saxophonist, right? And play saxophone all over the world. And also, by the way, I didn't put him up there. I should have put him up there. May my uncle, my great uncle, the famous founding bagpipe jazz player, Rufus Harley, which is my grandmother's brother, he should have been up there. He is the founder of bagpipe jazz playing. And he was also from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, an influencer with the funk in hip hop. Next slide. We're going to the next slide. We got Parliament Funkadelic. Look at the way Parliament Funkadelic is dressing. And then look at African Bambaataa. So we can see the influences of a foundational Black American culture within the music industry, influencing the dress of the first pioneers of hip hop, or some of them anyway, because the original pioneers of hip hop, them cats was wearing mock necks, Playboy shirts, you know, not ponies. Ponies came like in the early 80s, late 70s, but they was wearing like Jack Purcell's, Pro Kids, stuff like that. But you can clearly see this integration, so to say, of Parliament Funkadelic Sun Ra Orchestra dress within Bambaataa. You see it. Go to the next slide. We see Parliament Funkadelic again. Look at one of the covers of their albums with the spaceship. And if you go to Sun Ra Orchestra, when you understand the spirituality of Sun Ra Orchestra, a lot of them believe that they were incarnations of Egyptian gods coming from the planet Mars. And you see this same understanding of spaceship Black gods that are coming from Parliament Funkadelic and Sun Ra Orchestra. You see it with Afrika Bambaataa. So we see who's influencing who. African Bambaataa not influencing them. They're influencing Bambaataa with the funk. Continue on. Huh? So now we back at these 3 men. Now we get into the meat. I need y'all to see these 3 men, because they've been putting it in our minds that these 3 men were the founders of hip hop. Next slide. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. So now you got Zulu. You know, they credit African Bambaataa with finding Zulu Nation in South Bronx. African Bambaataa was influenced by the 1964 movie Zulu. The head or leading star was Michael Caine in this movie. African Bambaataa on Vlad TV, out of his own mouth, said that he watched the movie Zulu. And this is where he got the idea to name his organization the Zulu Nation. But it wasn't the first Zulu Nation in the United States. We're going to get into that in a second.
Hey,
But
hey,
Bambaataa,
my, oh,
yes,
I didn't mean to talk while you was cooking, but yeah, I just want to try to give a little context to the Zulu. That is a Bantu tribe, right?
yes, sir.
And most of us FBAs are Bantu, and the Bantu are the Hebrew Israelites of the Bible. If I'm correct,
You're absolutely
that's all.
correct.
That's all I want to
And
bring
you
out.
can,
Go ahead, brother.
yeah, and you can go to South Africa right now, and you have many sub-clans within the Zulu nation that teach that the Israelites, and they have Israelite congregations, and they say that they come from the tribe of Zebulon. This is what you hear from these sub-clans in South Africa, saying that there was this Israelite connection amongst the Zulus. And not only that, we see in 1902, Prophet William S. Crawley appointing and anointing a Zulu by the name of Bishop Mason, Bishop Charles P. Mason, who was a Zulu, and he told Prophet William S. Crawley that the Zulus were in fact Israelites, and he gave the charge to um, Bishop Charles P. Mason to go back to South Africa and identify the Israelite tribes. And he did that, and you see established all throughout South Africa and Central Africa these tabernacles and also these African Zionist temples. And out of these African Zionist temples, born a man by the name of Prophet Enoch. Prophet Enoch created an organization in South Africa in 1910 known as the Israelites, who was a Torah-centered group of Israelites that were executed. 163 of them were executed by General Smuts in 1921. And that war became known as the Barnhart Massacre. If you study South African history, you'll see Nelson Mandela in the book Nelson Mandela, The Man in the Movement by Mary Benson, breaking down the Israelites in South Africa. So Hilltop is correct. There is an Israelite connection with the Zulus of South Africa in the because they are part of the Bantu speaking tribes in Africa with other Bantu speaking tribes throughout East Africa, Central Africa, and West Africa, along with South Africa. So getting back to African Bambaataa, he's influenced by this movie Zulu. And what he did was he came up with a concept to get all these gangs that were fragmented to come under one. Remember, Shaka Zulu, he was a military conqueror. So what he was doing was conquering tribes throughout South Africa and absorbing them into Zulu. So the idea permeated within African Bambaataa's mind to go into the Bronx, mainly the South Bronx, and to absorb all these gangs that were fragmented under Zulu. Zulu, or the Zulu nation of the early 1970s, wind up becoming the Almighty Zulu Nation. And the Almighty Zulu Nation borns the Commission, which in turn borns the Universal Zulu Nation. Because now hip hop is starting to expand itself because it was Bambaataa and Kool Herc and all these cats that took an underground sound and they brought it up to the surface, so to say. And from there, now you have Puerto Ricans and different ethnic groups, Panamanians, all of them started to involve themselves into hip hop, which became known as the Universal Zulu Nation. But they're not the first Zulu nation in the United States. And we're going to show you who that was in a second. Go to the next slide. So you see right here in the Wikipedia, we see that it says specifically Bambaataa watched the 1964 film Zulu, right? Which sparked the name for the group. And when we go and we have, and I gave my notes to the Scorn Black Man podcast. And in them notes, we have video footage of African Bambaataa, known as Bam, from out of his own mouth, saying that he got the name Zulu Nation from watching the movie Zulu. Next slide. Because and the reason why I'm pointing this out, because it's a myth that is being spread throughout South Africa, that Bambaataa came to South Africa and learned hip hop from the Zulus and got the name Zulu from the Zulus of South Africa and took hip hop back to the United States. No disrespect, but that is totally false. Hip hop didn't get into South Africa into the mid 1980s. So I don't know where they got this from. Well, let me give you the actual story about Bambaataa going to South Africa. When hip hop was going on, this is roughly around 1974, early 1974. Bambaataa won an award, an artistic award at his high school to go to India. 1974, he was giving out flyers for a hip hop party. And he tried to make it to, this, not audition, but he had to speak in front of a school panel. He missed it. And because he missed it, he missed his trip to go to India. So then he did the hip hop, stage show again, a second time. And he won a trip to go to South Africa in 1975. But he already had the name Zulu Nation before he even went to South Africa. Hip hop was already in effect before he even went to South Africa. So for people to lie and say that hip hop started in Africa, and I live in Africa, and I'm telling you that is not true. Hip hop started as all the five elements came together in the West Bronx. That's a fact. Amongst the black spades. And we have here again, we see that African Bambaataa has spoken of the name Zulu, coming from the 1964 movie Zulu. We have the notes right here with the Universal Zulu Nation. So not only am I giving you images, I'm giving you notes. And then after I show the PowerPoint, we're going to show some brief clips. We're going to go through this PowerPoint very quickly. We're going to show some clippings out of their own mouth. See, I don't have to say these things. I'm going directly from out of their mouth to show you that hip hop did not start from Kool Herc. It did not start from Bambaataa, nor did it start from Grandmaster Flash. When they came, hip hop was already there. Remember, Grandmaster Flash, before he was a DJ, he was a b-boy. Before Kool Herc was a DJ, he was doing graffiti and b-boying. That being the case, then that means hip hop had to be there for them to do these things before they were even DJs. Go to the next slide. Now, let's talk about the original Zulu Nation. So the original Zulu Nation came roughly around 1966, 1967 in North Philly. The original Zulu Nation, this is a picture that you see right here, Zulu Nation gang in Philadelphia. The original Zulu Nation came in the late 1960s out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now, there isn't much written about Zulu Nation, but it was a gang that absorbed other gangs in North Philadelphia, and they became known as Zulu. Zulu was the biggest gang in Philadelphia. And the number of gangs members in Philadelphia came up to a total of 180,000 members. In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at this time, gang culture was very heavy. You had Zulu Nation, you had the Moroccans, you had the Moon Gang, you had the Underworld, you had the Volley, so you had the Oxford Street Gang. So gang culture, remember, hip hop came from out of gang culture. And I'm gonna show you how graffiti, all that came from out of gang culture. So, and that term gang war and all that stuff, all this is gang culture. So you see the original Zulu Nation, not from Bambaataa. When Zulu Nation in Philadelphia was around, Bambaataa Zulu Nation didn't even exist. It didn't even exist. This is the original Zulu Nation coming from out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's an image of them right there. Okay, go to the next slide. We see Zulu Nation again in newspaper articles. We see the Soul City Youth Center that was sponsored and pushed by the Zulu Nation from out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Next slide. This is the very first. So now we're staying in the culture, the influence. We see this man right here. This is Brother Darrell, also known as Cornbread. Cornbread would be considered the first element of hip hop coming out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now you got those that argue, oh, Cornbread, not the first, this, that, the third. The very first element of hip hop is 1965 by this man named Cornbread. Remember that movie Cornbread, Earl and Me? He's cornbread. I know y'all remember that. But he is the very first to take gang culture graffiti, which was known as gangster style, and he made it into an artistic form. He started in 1965 in a youth group known as St. Gabe's. It was either St. Gabe's or Slayton Farms. I think it was St. Gabe's, but he was locked up there and he started to put cornbread all over the jail. And people thought he had some type of mental disorder, the staff members. And when he came home in 1967, he started to spray paint on areas all over the city where people wouldn't even be like, damn, they like, how did he get that there? And there was an incident in the early 1970s where a young kid by the name of Julius got murdered. And they all mistaken him as Cornbread. Go to the next slide. They mistaken them as Cornbread. Now that's Cornbread right there in North Philadelphia today. Cornbread's world's first writer. And go to the next slide. I want you to go to the next slide. Okay. Cornbread, world's first writer, 1965. Cornbread is the one that gave it an artistic form for individual fame on a global level. He started to spray paint his name graffiti style from Philadelphia to it becoming all over the world. This is why he is known as the godfather of graffiti and the first element of hip hop. Okay? Graffiti originated out of Philadelphia in the early 1940s with gang culture. It was a man by the name of Top Cat 126. Top Cat 126, 120, yeah, Top Cat 126. I'm just going to say, because it could be either Top Cat 124 or 126, one of them. But Top Cat was a major gang leader out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He wound up going to New York and influencing cats like Tacky and all them that was dealing with graffiti. He gave them the gangster style of graffiti. When you talk about tagging like Wicked and all that, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is the mecca of graffiti, which in turn shifted over to New York. This is just facts. And it came from out of gang culture. That's where the tagging and the graffiti came out of gang culture. It was Cornbread that gave it an artistic form. He spray painted his name because people thought he got murdered. He would tag Cornbread Lives. He snuck in the Philadelphia Zoo in 1971, 1972, and spray painted on an elephant, Cornbread Lives, on both sides of the elephant. And the police caught him and took him to the police station, and he went in front of the judge, and the judge asked him for his autograph, and Cornbread put his autograph, tagged his autograph, gave him his autograph. The Philadelphia Inquirer, the Philadelphia Daily News, all over the world. Graffiti was known as, well, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania was known as the graffiti capital of the whole entire United States. This is just a fact. And we see Cornbread do something real crazy. 1973, I believe, 74, one of them. Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 crew came on an airplane to do a show in Philadelphia, and the crowd was deep in front of the airplane, and they was coming out of the airplane. And some way, somehow, Cornbread sneaks up inside the airplane and write, Cornbread was here. This is unheard of. So Cornbread was the very first one to take graffiti or gangster writing in an artistic way and in an artistic form to make a name for himself and splattered it all over the world. Nobody else ever done that. Other people that was just tagging, they was just tagging for gang reasons or just to do something. It didn't have like a direction. Cornbread created a element that sparked the world graffiti artists, such as one of my Israelite brothers that passed away, Raz. Everybody know if they into graffiti, King Raz, one of our Hebrew Israelite brothers, may he rest in completeness. He created a graffiti group known as Above the Law in the 1970s, in the late 1970s. And he's known all over the world. May he rest in completeness. But the point that I'm showing is that he wanted to make a name for himself. So these graffiti movements or camps or communities, their objective was to make a name for themselves after the first artistic modern day graffiti artist, Cornbread, the first element of hip hop. Next slide. And if y'all want to say anything, please feel free to come in and speak. Hallelujah. There we go. Cornbread Philly. Cornbread is known all over the world. All over the world. I don't care where you go. Anywhere where hip hop is permeated at, the name Cornbread is known. There's nowhere that that's how you know that he's the first element. And they tried to push him to the side like Dr. Cologne because they want us to believe that it was Hispanics that created graffiti. But that's not true. That's not true. The first element of hip hop, graffiti, was created by foundational Black Americans, particularly as an artistic form by our brother, our elder, Cornbread. Next slide. So now we got Cab Calloway. Now one might say, why you got him up there? Simple, because we talking job talk, right? And this is the job talk dictionary right here. We talking job talk going back 1939. See, to understand hip hop, we have to understand the swag, the coolness, the fly. If the Hispanics and the Jamaicans created hip hop like they try to say, why they don't have Black exploitative movies? What they know about Five on the Black Hand Side? What they know about the education of Sonny Carson? What they know about Cornbread, Earl and May? What they know about Superfly? What they know about the Mac? What they know about Sheba Baby? Huh? What they know about Foxy Brown? What they know about Cleopatra Jones? Huh? What they know about all the Blackula, all the black exploitated movies, right? It was coming from foundational Black Americans. You seen in the song with Mary J. Blige and Ghostface, all that I got is you. And we heard it in the beginning of the song, a clip from the movie The Education of Sonny Carson, right? And you hear when Sonny Carson get locked up at a young age, and you hear he like, yo, young blood, how old are you? And he said 12, something like that. And he said, damn, them crackers. And then you hear the song come in, right? You watch the movie The Education of Sonny Carson with the Lords, the Tomahawks from out Brooklyn, New York. You see gang culture. And what the leader of the Tomahawk said, he said, little boy got to go. Let me get mines. You know, and then he say about little boy, he say his whole style is chunk. So you see the jive talk in the midst of hip hop. There was the spit, but the Puerto Ricans wasn't talking like that. Stop lying. That is foundational Black American culture. The way we dress, the way we walk, the way we talk, the food that we like, everything was straight African American. Cab Calloway is known as, quote unquote, even though he wasn't the founder, but objectively, he's the founder of Jive Talk because he put all the Jive Talk definitions in the dictionary, right? That's why you're like, what's going on, Cool Breeze? Oh, that nigga talking, we swoop you. What's going on, young blood? A lot of people think that term young blood go back to the Bloods. No, it don't. Young blood go back to Black American Vietnam vets. When they was over there in Vietnam, a lot of the fly talk go back to a lot of the Vietnam vets, the war vets, World War II and Vietnam vets. Anybody that know about this know that I'm telling the truth. Even the term hip hop came from a Vietnam vet by the name of Cowboy from the Bronx. Foundational. How y'all gonna say these people, other people created hip hop when the name itself hip hop? You can find in Calloway's book, A Hibbity a Hop. That's them hip hoppers. That's what the old heads was called. That's them jitterbugs. Them hip hoppers. That's what the old heads were calling the youth at the time in the 60s, the 50s, all that. And not cornbread, and Cowboy coming up from that era and being a Vietnam vet called the culture hip hop. But the word hip hop derived from a hip hopper. And that's what the elderly people was calling the jiggerbugs, right? Or the young bucks. That's them hip hoppers. Had nothing to do with Jamaicans nor Puerto Ricans. Next slide. We see Calloway's dictionary right there. It says, are you hip? Are you hip to the hop? This is all foundational Black American lingo. This ain't got nothing to do with Jamaica. What y'all talking about? Even the foundation of what they call toasting and all that. I'm gonna show you. Go back to Jocko the Bear, this jockey from down south. It did not start with Jamaicans. Jamaicans were influenced by Black American culture. I'm going to show y'all in a second. Go to the next slide. So now you got, what's that? 1946, the Jubilaires. The first conscious rap. The first conscious biblical rap song was called Noah. Oh, Noah. This is 1946. We rapping, literally rapping. We're going to show this in a second. We're going to show the live video footage. We're not going to show the whole thing. We're only going to show like 30 seconds a piece, kind of like, because we don't want to get struck. So we just show little clips so people can see what I'm saying is true. But they got a lot of their songs are strictly, you go get their album, it's a whole rap album. This 1946, what y'all talking about? Show us y'all receipts. I can show y'all when we was breakdancing in the 1930s. Huh? Next slide. We going to the next slide. Let's get it. There they go right there again. Got a nice picture of them. That's 1946. Am I lying, Hilltop? Ain't that 1946? Please, y'all say something for a minute. Hold on for a second. Let me go to my door real quick. I need y'all to speak for a minute.
Yeah, that's in 1946. Hey, if you're enjoying the information, no, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna tell them make sure they hit that subscribe button, man, on the Scoring Black Man podcast on Hilltop Traveling Everywhere and Fire Talk Radio podcast. But go ahead, brother. Fire Talk Radio podcast, brother Don Yehuda.
Yeah, you beat me to the punch. That's all I was gonna say. But if you're definitely liking the information that's coming out, hit the like button, share it to your respective channels, get your friends, family members involved. There's definitely an educational history class on hip hop. So if you didn't know, you're gonna know tonight the origins of hip hop, how it started, where it came from, who originated it, and where we're going in the future with it.
Absolutely, I'm back. So we see right there the brothers.
We from somebody asked where we from. Willie Rice. He said, "Where are you from, brothers?" From Georgia, two Pennsylvanians, but one of the brothers is you know what I'm saying, out in Tanzania, who giving a presentation right now. He's out, boots on the ground, a nice foundation out there in Tanzania. He got horses and everything. I'm out here in Thailand right now. You know what I'm saying, enjoying my life. You know what I'm saying. Going to be hitting the continent of Africa very, very soon. And, you know, that's how we rocking. Go ahead, brother.
Absolutely. Yeah, so y'all know I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, specifically in the Hunting Park section of North Philly. So I'm raised in Philly all my life. Foundational Black American FBA, both mother and father. My mother was in an organizational gang known as the Zulu Nation. My father was in an organizational gang known as the Oxford Street Gang out of 8th and Oxford, between 8th to 12th and Oxford. He also was an active member of the first resurrection of the Nation of Islam, you know what I'm saying? And in Philly, and affiliate with the Philadelphia Black Mafia. So yeah, there's definitely foundational Black Americans all day. My man Don Yehuda is from Erie, Pennsylvania. Give a shout out to one of the elders in our community, Elder Yahweh from out of Erie, Pennsylvania, along with his brother, Elder Shalom. Active elders in our community for decades. Anybody know about them brothers? If you from Erie, PA, you definitely heard of them elders. Am I correct, Don Yehuda?
Word, yeah, definitely. I met that brother a long time ago. He was the first one I met that was rocking and claiming the name of Yahweh. And I didn't even know anything about the truth at the time. And every time you would see him, he said, "Shalom, brother," you know what I'm saying? So definitely. So when I knew you knew him, I knew it was official at that point.
Absolutely, absolutely. Shout out to my elder Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, you know, he been in this culture. He probably got 50 years under his belt. So we ain't talking about just somebody coming out the woodworks and he's known all over Israel, all over the world. You say that name, Elder Yahweh, bang, and they know the difference from Elder Yahweh versus Yahweh ben Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? So when you say Elder Yahweh, they know you're talking about the elder from out of Erie, Pennsylvania. So go to the next slide.
One day we can put something together, get them on the podcast. That way we can chop it up and get a little bit of that history.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can reach out to Elder Yahweh and get that cracking. I know that Dr. Morey Yoel ben Yisrael wants to come on y'all's show. I talked to him, and he wants to give a PowerPoint presentation of some of the early pioneers of the Israelite nation. And he was born in Israelite, 6 generations of Israelites under him, and he's actually the cousin of the late Dr. John Henrik Clarke. So it would be definitely important and imperative to have him come on the show and do a PowerPoint presentation on the early pioneers of the Hebrew Israelite nation. He is,
that'd be fun.
Yeah, that's light work. I can definitely get him on as soon as possible. So let's continue on. Let's go to the next slide. So now we got our homie, man. Our homie right here, Pig Meat Marham. He came out with the song Here Comes the Judge. This is 1960. Harry, a quarter swings. About to do that thing. Don't need to brag. Don't, you know what I'm saying? And when you listen to it, it's straight hip hop. And we're going to show this today. And we can show clips of that because it's fair use. But we're not going to be able to show the whole entire thing. But to give y'all an idea, and then y'all can go, continue to do y'all research. So we got Pig Meat Marham here. And when you look at the original Black Spades, a Major Baby Spade, give a shout out to DJ FaZe. DJ FaZe coming out of the West Bronx that's keeping original hip hop alive. And he had a major connection and involvement with Tariq Nasheed's new documentary known as Microphone Check. And he is the one that got all these pioneers to connect that came from out of the Black Spades. And out of DJ FaZe's own mouth, he said that Pig Meat Marham was one of the heavy influencers of them rapping back in the early 70s because everybody was trying to be like him. Pig Meat Marham comes from North Carolina, but he became famous in New York and Harlem. And he was literally rap. His whole album is rap music, comedy and rap. Because back in the day, rap music started like, your mama is so fat. You know what I mean? It was like ranking on, your mama's so big. Your daddy such and such and such. So that's how the youth within the Black Spades was rapping back in the day, in the late 60s, early 1970s, with your mama jokes, because a lot of them was listening to Pig Meat Marham. A lot of them was listening to Clarence Carter. The same one that be like, I'll be stroking to the east. I'm stroking to the west. I'm stroking to the woman that I love the best. I'll be stroking him. If you listen to him, if you listen to Rudy Ray Moore and cats like that, Red Fox, these were the underground sounds that our parents and grandparents was listening to when they would have a drink at the speakeasy, or they had their little card games at night, smoke what they call they reefers, right? And drink their little beer, et cetera, et cetera. They was listening to Clarence Carter. They was listening to Pig Meat Marham. And you got to remember, those that created hip hop, they were the understudiers of those that were listening to these people. And this is where influenced the sound of rap, where you get your first MC, Coke LaRock, 1973. Let the party in the house say ho, Oh, that was the first MC, so to say. But it was DJ Hollywood, who is a DJ for the old heads in Harlem, the boss players. But at the same time, he was the first one to give rap an artistic form. Even though Coke La Rock was the very first documented MC, but it was DJ Hollywood that was created into an artistic form where he just flowing on the mic. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Hallelujah. So like I said, hip hop's first MC, Coke La Rock. It says hip hop's first MC tells his crazy life stories. When Kool Herc was stabbed, when he got stabbed at a party, it took him out of commission for a very long time. But Coke La Rock was a gangster. Coke La Rock was the MC for Kool Herc. Coke La Rock is a foundational Black American. He is known, excuse me, as hip hop's first MC. Let the party people in the house say, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. That was him doing that. And then it morphed into now creating it in an artistic form. This is where you get DJ Hollywood. Even though we had those before us that was rapping like Jocko the Bear. Jocko, where you at? That's Play the Rhyme Game from the sister from Philly. Oh, manana, FIFA, momana, banana, right? So it was there, but the encapsulation of it, you're seeing it in hip hop through Coke La Rock, through DJ Hollywood, etc., etc. But prior to that, it was just an outside element that individual artists were doing, like Pygmy Marham, Cat Calloway, these cats, Jocko the Bear. Next slide. Let's get it. There go Busy B. Busy B was an understudier of the late DJ Disco King Mario. DJ Disco King Mario introduced him to Bambaataa. He was the very first battle rapper, so to say, Busy B. Y'all know him being famous battling Kumo D. But Busy B was already battling even before that battle with Kumo D. Busy B go back to the early 1970s. Go to the next slide. But he was a direct understudier. That's him today. He was a direct understudier of the late DJ Disco King Mario. Everybody, he was what you will call the liaison. Okay? DJ Disco King Mario was the liaison or the ambassador of hip hop, hands down. If you're not talking about DJ Disco King Mario, you're not talking hip hop. You can't skip DJ Disco King Mario and go to Herc, Bambaataa, and Flash. There's no way you can do that. Them guys came later. They were the second generation. They got y'all thinking them three mentioned names are the first generation of hip hop. No, they're the second generation. I'm talking about the first generation. You get DJ John Brown. Even though they're considered disco DJs like DJ Pete Jones and DJ Grandmaster Flowers, the original Grandmaster before you even get to Grandmaster Flash. And I seen some stupid comment. See, hip hop was created by the Boule, the Illuminati. Look at Grandmaster Flash name. He got Grandmaster because he's a master in the lodge. No, idiot. Stop making idiotic statements. The term Grandmaster comes through the influence of Chinese Kung Fu movies. A lot of the hip hop heads were heavy into martial arts. That's why you seen the Nation of Islam was into martial arts. Many of the gang members were into martial arts. You even see it in the movie The Warriors. There was a heavy martial arts idea amongst foundational Black Americans. So Grandmaster was saying you had the martial arts skills on the turntables. That's all that was. That didn't have nothing to do with no Masonic stuff. Okay, go to the next slide. Now, this right here is the inventor of breakdancing, Trixie. This is Elder Myers. Elder Myers, both parents are foundational Black Americans. His mother was from North Carolina. His father was from South Carolina. He goes back 1970. These are the first original B-boys. This is before the Rocksteady crew. See, they put our minds in Beach Street, Wild Style, breaking with Own Zone and Turbo and all that. Shout out to my man Shrimp / Turbo. Rest in completeness to Own Zone, because they was into the pop locking and the electric boogaloo and all that over in the West Coast. And I think that we need for me to come back and give the origins of hip hop on the West Coast, because they play a major role as well in certain elements of hip hop, even though the culture or these 5 elements codified itself in the West Bronx in New York and became a culture in New York. But the elements itself existed in different parts of the United States. And it was just a part of our culture in general, but it wasn't like codified that you see in the West Bronx. So this man right here is the inventor of breakdancing. What are y'all talking about? Puerto Ricans created breakdancing? No, they didn't. This is the man that is known for being the very first B-boy, known as Trixie. The first founder of breakdancing, also known as burning. And when they would breakdance, they'd be like, yo, I'm about to burn this nigga. So before it was called, like, even though the word breakdance with it, they try to lie and say the word breakdancing came from the media. No, it didn't. They called it breakdancing because when the break came, they would drop it to the floor. See, where the difference from the first B-boys versus the Hispanics that started breakdancing is this. The B-boys are the first generational B-boys. They were breakdancing and dancing to breakdancing to the beat. The Hispanic breakers, they wasn't dancing to the beat. They were just breakdancing, but they wasn't on rhythm with the beat. You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference. And then they also added what was known as up rock to, and that can also be debated, that rocking was actually created by foundational Black Americans too. But that's another topic that I get into another time. But go to the next slide. I hope y'all enjoying this. The original origins of hip hop on the Scorn Black Man podcast, presented by yours truly, Prince Charlandine Ben Ami Mortazarian Ben Yasha Allah Sr., also known worldwide as the Mighty Hebrew. We got here one of the original B-boys, Sasa. You know, Crazy Legs from Rocksteady crew had to correct himself because they tried to say that Sasa was Puerto Rican. No, he's not. He's a foundational Black American. Y'all tried to say he was Puerto Rican right? Because of his name. Just like y'all try to say DJ Disco King Mario was half Puerto Rican. And his family, on both sides of his family, when they named the street after him last year, had to come out live and say, man, our family not no Puerto Rican, straight cold foundational Black American. Okay? I don't know where to get that rumor from, but none of these people were Hispanic. Go to the next slide. That's Sasa right there. Now, you got here today known as the legendary twins. But back in the day in 1972, they were known as the nigger twins. But now, because today we're in like a politically correct, atmosphere, so to say, they changed their names to the legendary twins. But their original name were the nigger twins. You know what I mean? And they're actually, they brothers. And they are some of the original first B-boys. Okay? Foundational Black Americans. That's 1972 right there. Next slide. Remember, ain't no Puerto Ricans, nothing. There they go again. The original B-boys with DJ Kool Herc. These were some of DJ Kool Herc's B-boys. All these cats from out of Bronxdale projects, B-boy projects. And you also have B-girls too. That's not get it twisted. You have B-girls too. Go to the next slide. Now we're talking about the almighty Zulu Kings. These were Bambaata's dancers, B-boy dancers, foundational Black Americans, 1974. Remember that term Zulu came from Bambaata being inspired by the movie Zulu, who had the star Michael Caine in it from 1964. The movie came out in 1964, but the influence came to Bambaata in the 70s, the early 70s. But remember, they weren't the original Zulu Nation. The original Zulu Nation came out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania between 1966 to 1967. Go to the next slide. You're going to see the Zulu Kings again, just sitting there with their jackets, they Zulu King jackets. This is all foundational Black American, man. The very first B-boys were African Americans. That's why you have Crazy Legs in his younger age when he used to dance. I see you, son. I see my son on there. Shalom, bang. My son in the building. My blood son, by the way. Not saying son like he shine like one, but that's my son. He came on the podcast, you know what I mean, last time. So getting back to the point, what I'm saying, we see here the original Zulu Kings. In the original Zulu Kings, I see Brooklyn in the building. This brother from Brooklyn, so he know about Grandmaster Flowers. He know I'm telling the truth. He know for a fact, if he from Brooklyn, he know for a fact the original Grandmaster was Grandmaster Flowers, not Grandmaster Flash. That's a fact. Like the fact the brother teaching. Yeah, we got to take hip hop and put it back into our hands. We cannot let people just take our culture, history, heritage away from us and make it seem as though other people created hip hop. There wasn't no Puerto Ricans, man. The Puerto Ricans were the first students of hip hop. Now, they did contribute to hip hop. Yes, we have no problem with that. But they did not create hip hop. That has to be made clear. They did not create hip hop. They participated and they contributed to hip hop, but they did not create hip hop. Go to the next slide. Now we see the Rocksteady crew. The Rocksteady crew came roughly between the end of 1978 going into 1979. They was influenced by old head Batch and the Rockers. And Oed Batch from the Rockets will tell you that they learned how to drop it to the floor from African Americans. He told Dr. Cologne from out of his own mouth. And Dr. Cologne ain't said not one. I call him Dr. Colonizer. That's what I call him. Because he's trying to be the culture vulture that he is, trying to make it seem like hip hop started with Puerto Ricans. No. Your own elders told you, Dr. Cologne, that breakdancing, hip hop was created by foundational Black Americans. We got on record, on video record, with the Crazy Legs say from Rocksteady Crew. He said when he would dance the breakdancing, the Puerto Ricans was talking about that's that Moreno style. That's that Moreno, and Moreno means black. That's that Moreno style that you doing. So that's that jungle style. And the Hispanics back in them days were very racist against Black people. Yeah, you had your few here and there that came to the parties because they was trying to get with our women, et cetera, et cetera. But for the most part, the Hispanics at this time were very segregated, very racist. Even when you look at many of the Hispanic gangs from out of the Bronx, they were aligning themselves with the white gangs, and they was aligning wearing swastikas on their gang jackets. So to sit back and act like it was 50-50 and it was this brown black love, that's not true. That's not true. That came later when you seen Bambaataa create from the Zulu nation to the universal Zulu nation. Now you seeing other ethnic groups involved, and that's when the unification of Black and brown to the degree came in. Why you think if you listen to the early why you think you ain't got no real Hispanic MCs? You might hear about Big Pun, somebody like that, or Cypress Hill, right? But we can go from MC to MC to MC, all foundational Black Americans. A few here and there, West Indian, Jamaican, but their whole style is Black American culture. Even Kool Herc said when he came from Jamaica to the United States, when he was 12, he said he came in wearing cowboy boots. And the girls would laugh at him in school, talking about he had the roach killers on. This guy, folklore rock and foundational Black Americans influenced them to change his style of dress. Like most people didn't even know that Kool Herc was of Jamaican origin. They didn't know that. They just thought he was a Black American because he was absorbed in Black American culture. Go to the next slide. Now we got Jocko the Bear. So let's break down where Sky Music and Toasting and all that from Jamaica came from. Y'all gonna stop with these myths talking about DJ Kool Herc boy hip hop from Jamaica. Y'all crazy or something? Well, let me break it down to you. And shout out to our sister Janelle, who gave me the jewel on this. And I went and researched it and found out it was the truth. Our sister Janelle, is the one that schooled me on this. So now, after the Second World War, right, the British gave all these old radios to Jamaican citizens. And we know that Jamaica is 90 miles away from the United States, Miami, Florida. And these radios that they had were linked to down south disc jockeys. And one of them was Jocko the Bear. And when you listen to Jocko the Bear and these other southern disc jockeys within down south of the United States, they were toasted. Original toasting comes from foundational Black Americans, and these disc jockeys influenced the disc jockeys to come in Jamaica. The big boom boxes that they try to lie and say that Kool Herc brought from Jamaica, all that stuff is a lie. Them big boom boxes was influenced by the jukebox from down south. Many of the Jamaicans that were looking for work after the Civil War would go to down south and do plantation work down south in the late 1960s, 1970s, and even before then. You know, I'm gonna say roughly the 1950s, excuse me, the 1950s, early 1960s. And they seen the jukebox, which was created by foundational Black Americans, okay? And they took that idea back to Jamaica and made these boombox systems. These are facts. What are y'all talking about? The whole blueprint of hip hop was created by foundational Black Americans. Jocko the Bear was that leading disc jockey. Jocko, where you at? Come on, man. This is 1957 right here. We hear Jocko the disc jockey rapping. They wasn't rap. The founders of Sky Music and all that, and Toasting in Jamaica, their founders say that they was influenced by Ray Charles, Fats Domino, BB King. They tell you out their own mouth who they was influenced by. And for y'all to come and lie and say Jamaicans gave Black American hip hop, the shame on y'all. Go to the next slide. There go Jocko the Bear. How DJ Jocko Henderson entertained millions of radio listeners. This man was rapping, toasting, way before Jamaicans started toasting. They learned this stuff from Jocko and other down south disc jockeys. But y'all try to flip it and make it seem like we learned from y'all, but in fact, y'all learned from us. And if you can just type in your Google Black American toasting. Do you hear me, Hilltop? Can I use the bathroom real quick? Can we have a quick break, or y'all can speak real fast while I use the bathroom real quick?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, y'all tuned in to the Scorn Black Man podcast. Y'all also is tuned in to Hilltop Traveling Everywhere. Y'all also are tuned in to Fire Talk Radio podcast. And you're also tuned in on Facebook on so many channels, man. So, man, y'all get this out, share it on all platforms. You're getting a good breakdown of the original origins of hip hop presented by the Mighty Hebrew. And yeah, man, FBA all day. You know what I'm saying? Brother Del Yehuda, man, what'd you think about the presentation so far? Fighting Talk Radio podcast.
Yeah, he's going in pretty deep, man. I just want to let the audience know the reason he's bringing this out, because earlier this year, there's been controversy on the origins of hip hop. Like, a lot of people have been saying, like he mentioned earlier, that hip hop was started by, you know, Jamaicans or Islanders. Others have been saying Puerto Ricans and so forth. So what the brother is doing is just bringing out the true history of hip hop from his vantage point and from historicity that he's actually showing the audience. So this is definitely a master class on hip hop. If you're a hip hop head, you know, if you grew up in the culture, you definitely don't want to miss out on this information. Definitely share it. He going in deep, man. This is heavy information. That's why I told him, is he ready for people to be coming out his head, because it's going to make quite a few people mad with what he's bringing out tonight, you know?
Oh yeah, man, most definitely, man. So y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, you know what I'm saying, man. Make sure y'all share this thing right now, man. We on all platforms, man. We on like 3 YouTube channels, and we on like maybe 4, maybe 5 Facebook channels, man. Let's get this thing out there, man. Share it, man. Let's make this thing go viral. FBA all day. Once again, like I say, the good brother, the Mighty Hebrew, he got boots on the ground in Tanzania right now. So all my brothers and sisters that's watching from Hilltop Traveling Everywhere, we got a man out in Tanzania, boots on the ground, man, plenty of farmland, got a little palace out there, you know what I'm saying? Got horses and everything. And good brother, you know what I'm saying? Good brother, you know what I'm saying? He's one of my Hebrew Israelite brothers up in the building, you know what I'm saying? Conscious blackness, you know what I'm talking about? So, yeah, so all y'all brothers that's over, brothers and sisters that's traveling the African countries, you know, go see our people, the Bantu tribes, you know what I'm saying? They're the same as diaspora, you know what I'm saying? We all, you know what I'm saying? So hook up with the Bantus. Like I said, brother on brought out those shows you the Zulus and all that right there, man. So we just trying to bring some educational stuff to you, you know what I'm saying, on both, on all three channels, I should say. You know what I'm saying, my man, Daniel Huda, the good brother, Fire Talk Radio Podcast, man. Y'all go hit that subscribe button over there. Make sure you do that. If you ain't subscribed to the Scoring Black Man Podcast and Hill Talk Traveling Everywhere, please make sure you do that. And I give a special shout out to my moderators out there, especially Professor Lovely Lady. I see you.
Lady.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Professor. It's a Dr. Linda. I said, oh man, that's my mama name. I knew it was something special about you, Professor Lovely Lady in the building. She holds it down. You know, so on all the channels. So the brother Mighty Hebrew is back in the building. We're gonna let him proceed as usual.
Hallelujah. So like I said, we got right here DJ Jocko the Bear. You see what I'm saying? So everything we come up with receipts. So like I said, after I show the pictures, then we're going to show the original clips and then close out. And the reason why I'm doing it like this, because we are people of imagery. We need to see. So I don't want to just be here just talking. No, I want you to see it. We need to remember our ancestors that came before us, that established what we have today. Remember, the original disc jockey was a person that was inside of a studio, you know what I mean? A studio building that you see, and they was kicking that jive talk, that toasting. And remember, the Jamaicans was influenced by that, right? Remember, the Jamaicans, they were colonized by the British. So this is why most people from Jamaica, when they want to go to another country, the first place they usually go to is the UK, because they have that connection. So their idea and sound was different until they got these special radios where they can communicate by listening to the disc jockeys from down south in the United States after the Second World War. And this is where the influence of Black American culture came in. Also, a lot of these workers from Jamaica that was going down south, they were buying a lot of the records for like 5 cents a piece, taking them back to Jamaica, anteing up the prices. And you know what I mean? And and this is how the music started to spread all over Jamaica. Next slide. Many of the women, look, now, this is the original Grandmaster Flowers. It's not a lot of pictures of him, but I was able to find this one. There you go, right there, from out of Brooklyn, New York. We talking 1968. The original Grandmaster Flower. And quiet as it's kept, disco was created by foundational Black Americans too. Y'all ain't know punk rock music was created by Black Americans from out Seattle. Y'all didn't know that techno music came from out of Chicago. Y'all ain't know that. Y'all thought that white folks made this stuff up. Y'all have to do y'all research to find out that these people didn't make anything. They didn't make the sounds of music from out of the United States all came from foundational Black Americans. Remember when we were slaves? And what did the slave master have us do? Sing them songs of Zion for them, to entertain them. They didn't know how to sing. They wasn't doing. Remember, we was all that hamburger, have you heard? Mama's gonna buy you a Mockingbird. That's all from us. We was already doing that stuff. We was already rhyming. You even see that with our forefather, King Shlomo Solomon, even in the scripture. I can show y'all MCing in the scripture. Next slide. That's the man. DJ Hollywood. Now, it's argued in hip hop circles. Shout out to DJ Phase, the Culture. If y'all haven't subscribed, y'all need to go to the Culture 1971. That's what it's called, the Culture 1971 on YouTube, and subscribe. Like, them dudes did their homework on hip hop. And it's an argument if DJ Hollywood was a disco DJ or a hip hop DJ. I'm going to say he was a disco DJ, but he also had influences within the hip hop world. Because the difference from DJ Disco King Mario and DJ Hollywood is this. DJ Hollywood was playing the mainstream sounds of Black American music in the upscale clubs where the gangsters dwell, the millionaires, the classy women, the boss women, the boss men. It was a certain way you had to come, else you wasn't getting in there. But he was the first one in artistic form to rap, so to say, right? DJ Disco King Mario, he was for the street thugs. He was for the cats that couldn't get in the club. He was for the gang members, gang wars, the generals, cats like that couldn't go into the nightclubs because they were ganged out. So that was the difference. He was for DJ Disco King Mario was for the youth. DJ Hollywood was for the boss players. Go to the next slide. Give a shout out to DJ Phase. Still alive right now. One of the original baby spades of the black spades of the West Bronx. It is this man right here that has really kept hip hop in its original form alive. And he's the one that gave Tariq Nasheed a lot of history as it pertained to putting out his documentary, Microphone Check. You know what I'm saying? Which just came out almost a year ago. It's a must that it might have been like 6 months now. Yeah, 6 months. But it's a must that everybody watch that. I didn't even get a chance to see it yet. I seen clippings. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm over here in Africa and it's on Blu-ray right now. Or you got to go to like one of them organized, movie theaters to see it when they showcasing it. But once I'm able to see it on another type of screen, I'll be able to see it. But yeah, Microphone Check, I heard, is the most powerful documentary as it pertains to hip hop. Give a shout out to Tariq Nasheed, you know what I mean, and all the FBA movement. Go to the next slide. So now, I showed y'all b-boying, breakdancing, pop locking. I took y'all back to Trixie and Sasa, the nigga twins, or the legendary twins, the Zulu Kings order. When we talking rapping, I took you to Pygmy Martin, the Jubilaires. I took you to Pygmy Martin. I took you to Busy B and DJ Hollywood and Coke La Rock and all them. Graffiti. I took you to Cornbread. I showed you how graffiti came out of gang culture. And you had Top Cat from out of North Philly that took it to New York and started to influence Tacky and all them cats, right? So we did the rap, the b-boying, the break dancing, right? Now the graffiti, now we on knowledge. Remember, there's 5 elements of hip hop: rap, b-boying or break dancing, and what you would call pop locking, graffiti. I took you to DJing, showing you how Grandmaster Flash wasn't the first Grandmaster. You had Grandmaster Flowers. You had DJ Disco King Mario, and DJs before him like Jocko the Bear and all that, that gave birth to Toastin', which influenced the Jamaican disc jockeys. Now we acknowledge the fifth element of hip hop. We got here in the name of Allah. So we talking about the B-boy stands that came from the nation gods and earths, also known as the 5% nation. Go to the next slide. Because we talking about the knowledge that influenced hip hop, right? So we got here Clarence 13X right there in the late 1960s in Harlem, New York, also known as Putin or Father-in-Law, who broke off from the Nation of Islam and created the 5% nation. Go to the next slide. There you go again. He was from Virginia, huh? He was teaching that the original black man was God, Allah, and Allah to them was an acronym, which was arm, leg, arm, head. Islam for them was I, self, Lord, and Master. So they created what was known as the 120 lessons, which came from out of the supreme wisdom of the Nation of Islam. And in the 120 lessons, you know, you also had the supreme alphabet, A, Allah, B, born, C, cipher, D, divine, E, quality, F, father, fattener, etc., etc. Go to the next slide. They were a major influence on the knowledge of hip hop. Remember, in the world first newspaper, this is their first newspaper amongst the nation gods and earths out in Harlem, New York. Look at the way that he B-boy standing. That came from the nation gods and earth, foundational Black America. I told y'all this had nothing to do with port. Y'all came later. Y'all wasn't dealing with no cool breezing. Next slide. You see the 5% nation in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You see that with the Vantage Urban Culture Volume 1. They played a major role. These pictures in the 70s. A major role in the knowledge filtering, or the knowledge factor of hip hop. Next slide. These are the ones that born your king's sons. It born your poor righteous teachers, etc., etc. Now, here we go with our flag. We just showed you the universal flag of the 5%. Here go the flag. If you can blow that up a little bit so the people can see, blow it up just a little bit if you can. Boom. This is our flag right here. The 12 stones for the 12 tribes of Israel. The menorah, which is the light of Yah consciousness with Yahweh's name on top in Paleo-Hebrew, and our colors red, white, blue, purple, and gold. Next slide. And gold being our mineral. Next slide. So now who we see? We see the late Adonenu, Rabbeinu Ben Ami Ben Yisrael HaMoshiach. This is the influence of hip hop that created your killer priests and sons of man and your mysterious misfits. You know what I'm saying? This right here, you know, your Grayson and Jasons that were Israelites. Your Melly Mel's and all these different cats. Influencing the black space. Go to the next slide. These pictures in the 70s are the Israelites that left from the confines of America going into the promised land. See the fringes, everything. Next slide. I'm showing you the knowledge factor of the of hip hop. They were influenced by the nation of gods and earths. They were influenced by the Israelites. They were influenced by the Black Panthers. They were influenced by the Nation of Islam. They were influenced by the Moorish Science Temple of America. All these organizations were founded by foundational Black Americans. All 5 elements of hip hop were founded by foundational Black Americans. Next slide. Again, we see in the Black Hebrew Exodus 50 years on, because we left in 1967. It's 2024 now. This is us back in the day. We influenced hip hop. That's why you got your Hellraisers, the Mighty Hebrew, etc., etc. You see this consciousness of hip hop within the fifth element known as knowledge. Go ahead, next slide. Here we go. On the classic documentary, Gospel in the Holy Land, African Hebrew Israelites of Jerusalem. This was made in the 1970s. It's like an hour and 30 minutes. You can type it up on YouTube. It's known as Gospel in the Holy Land, African Hebrew Israelites of Jerusalem, and it'll pop up. We influence hip hop by the way of knowledge. Next slide. Now we get the flag of the Nation of Islam, because they were heavy influencers. You get your J Electronicas, huh? And like I said, the Foppers, you had the whole Wu-Tang Clan, Israelites, Killer Army, Killer Priest, Sons of Man, 62nd Assassin. You go to Slum Village, DJ Genesis' late husband that was in Slum Village, may he rest in completeness. He was a Hebrew Israelite. Hebrew Israelites are known to be influencers within hip hop culture. Now we at the Nation of Islam. Next flag. Next slide. Go to the next slide. Now, the founder of the Nation of Islam is the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, foundational Black American, right? This is where it's influencing the consciousness of hip hop. Next slide. Where you ain't no Puerto Ricans up there, right? We see the Nation of Islam, the organization, right? The militancy. You get your Chuck D's and your Public Enemies, right? You get your Cam. Shout out to Cam. Remember, he said, rolling with the peace treaty. He got his own podcast. I was just on Cam's show a couple of months back. Y'all know who he is if y'all in the hip hop. He from the West Coast. He in the Nation of Islam. Next slide. We got El Malik Shabazz, also known as Malcolm X or Malcolm Little. We seen him do the right thing, the heavy influence of Malcolm X in hip hop. Also, self-destruction. You headed for self-destruction. Y'all remember that, right? And then the West Coast came out with same gang. Stop the violence. Ain't that what Michelle A said? Heavy influences. Next slide.
Just going down memory lane, boy.
Look, the Nation of Islam, look at the sisters. Modesty. The Nation of Gods and Herbs call themselves Herbs, the women. You go to Digital Planets, Ladybug, Bahamadia from Philly.
Real quick, why you showing this picture? Because you're showing the modest women in the Nation of Islam and even in the Nation of Israel. You can see how degenerative has gotten in the hip hop community with our sisters and how they portray our sisters right now in hip hop and rap and the imagery that they're portraying to the masses. It's like a total infiltration and a total destruction of the image of the so-called Black woman here in America.
Yeah, it's like he just said, you know what I'm saying, they were rapping self-destruction, you know what I'm saying? You headed for self-destruction, and then it seemed like, you know, the powers that be, you know, the fake ones came in and said, hey, you know, y'all can't rap about that no more because it's doing a positive thing on y'all community. We want you to self-destruct. So now we're going to get you to rap about horning each other out, you know what I'm saying, killing each other, you know what I'm saying, just destroying each other, the whole family structure and everything. So, you know, the ish people, you know, only sign artists like that. They don't want to sign these artists to bring back, you know what I'm saying, that type of environment to our community. and put type of money behind that type of music.
No, they don't. They definitely
out that destroys our people. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. Absolutely, 100% correct. Remember, we had, look how they did Queen Latifah. You know what I mean? The queen is hyped up. UNITY, that's for unity. They took somebody that took that as a queen of hip hop and brought her down to an alphabet status. Then you had Isis, who became Link Q, Bahamadia, Ladybug, Lauryn Hill. All them came from out of Ciroc. All them came from out of this mind state of consciousness with the fifth element of hip hop. You see that? Let's not forget Roxanne Shante. I gave birth to those, mostly them MCs. Mama, make way for the big mama, right? MC Light, light as a rock. Rage, lyrical murderer, stranded on death row, and now I'm serving a lifetime sentence. There we no repentance. This is the life that I choose to lead. I'll be guilty. They're not rapping like that no more. Remember, hip hop was a tool that was going to be used as part of the resistance. So they had the severing with commercialism. And what they did, how they did it, was they tried to use the reality of West Coast rap and labeled it as gangster rap. When in fact, our brothers and sisters, all they was doing, like NWA and all them, they was just telling us what was going on in the West Coast, because most cats in the East Coast, we didn't know the major police brutality that was going on over there in the West Coast with the LAPD shooting brothers and sisters in the back and murder them and all that. We didn't know about the gang culture that was going on with the Bloods and Crips and different stuff like that over there in the West Coast. So they was giving us their reality of hip hop, and it got distorted with the media, and they labeled it gangster rap. And in the process, they was infiltrating by bringing in your Vanilla Ices and different cats like that to infiltrate hip hop. And what they did was they took all the negativity, or what they considered negative, and they glorified it and started to invest in the glorification of that. And also all them different record labels, the major labels, Sony, or they brought all them out. Why you think you don't have no more Warlock records? You don't have no more Duck Down records, and no, even though Duck Down's still around, but they really not. You don't have no more Rough House records, etc. All the major record labels brought all them record labels out by basically pushing them underground, and now they put what they want you to hear on the media or the airwaves. There was a time you would go listen to Kobe Cole and DJ Rand, you know what I mean, Radioactive, strictly underground hip hop. Or if you listening to, y'all know about Sway in the Morning, he originally had the Sway and Tech show, all original hip hop. And money start getting involved. You know what I mean? And when you dealing with money, people start selling their souls. Next slide. This is why y'all got to also understand what they doing with the Puff Daddy, the Jay-Z, all that. This is all the undermined hip hop. They're staining the legacy of hip hop through these men and others. So we see right here the significance of Black Muslim history. We gotta, and I'm not showing this to say for people to convert to Islam, none of that. I'm giving a true chronological history of the origin of hip hop and how the fifth element of hip hop, which is knowledge, was influenced by the Nation of Islam, the 5% Nation, the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Hebrew Israelite nation, the Nubian Islamic Hebrews, which became known later as the Nuwabians. Because you got to remember, even and I'm mentioning his name for historical purposes. Dr. Malachi Z. York used to be known as Iman Isa or Yahshua Rabboni. And he came with an organization known as the Ansar Law that started in Brooklyn, New York, and Bushwick, New York, between 1970 and 1970. And they also was known as the Nubian Islamic Hebrews. That's why you see influences of them with Bahamadia, X-Clan. To the east, my brother, to the east, come on. Brother J, what you say? What you say? Yeah, right? And who did you have? Professor X with him. Professor X, may he rest in completeness, was the son of Sonny Carson, who had the movie The Education of Sonny Carson. You see? Next slide. Shout out to all the modest sisters all over the world. Now we in the Moorish Science Temple of America, originally known as the Canaanite Temple, that started by a man by the name of Timothy Drew, also known as Noble Drew Ali, in 1913. And he was from North Carolina. But the original Canaanite temple came out of New Jersey. And later on, they incorporated it and it became known as the Moorish Science Temple of America. And you got a whole bunch of Moors like Mos Def, Talib Kweli, etc., etc. Go to the next slide. Because we wrapping up with the slides. There go Noble Drew Ali again. All this, remember, this is the knowledge factor of hip hop. All this is playing a role in the thought process of consciousness within hip hop that they had to sever. Remember, most people, De La Soul, Jungle Brothers, all them cats was influenced by all these elements that I'm showing you within the knowledge factor of the fifth element of hip hop. Go to the next slide. You see the Moorish Science Temple back in the day. And if you study Moorish history, you really study an Israelite history, because the founder of the Moors was an Israelite by the man named Tariq ibn Ziyad of 711 ACE, whose mother was Queen Dania Kanina, who was from the tribe of Simeon. And if you go to the book From Babylon to Timbuktu, go to the page known as the Moorish Empire, and you'll see that the Moors were in fact Israelites that converted to Islam. Go to the next slide. There we go again. Members of the Moorish Science Temple right there. That's out in New York. Go to the next slide. I think that's Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's Chicago. So we ended this slide with these guys right here. I already proved and established the fact that they're not the founders of hip hop. They came later. It just became codified for media reasons for them to control. Oh yeah, there it is right there. And if you can, for the listener audience, you can, if you want to read it, you can go to the Moorish Empire section, and it's going to tell you that Tariq ibn Ziyad was from the tribe of Simeon. And then it's going to give you a number where it says it at, and you can go into the back of the book, and then it gives you more enhancement of his background, and that his mother is Queen Dania Kanina. And they were from the tribe of Simeon. So if you can, Hilltop, now I want to show the meat with some of the video presentation, if possible. You have that, Don have it as well. And if y'all want to say anything, please feel free. Hallelujah.
A powerful, powerful PowerPoint and presentation tonight, brother. I hope that the people was edified by the information that you brought today, and definitely everybody go back, do your own research, your own fact checking on what the brother brought out. But very powerful, dispelling all the claims and notions that other ethnicities and racial groups started this thing we call hip hop, the culture that we embrace and love, that it was really us, the so-called foundational Black Americans, really known as the Israelites, that really created this thing that really brought the world together. Because when you really look at the dynamics of cultures and the expansion internationally, it was the hip hop culture that really transcended and brought all ethnicities and racial groups together in the capacity that we see today, which is why, like he mentioned, they had to go in, infiltrate, and use it to their nefarious means to destroy it. Because if they did not, ain't no telling where would we be at right now. There'd probably be a whole nother hemisphere right now on the planet. But yeah, definitely powerful, Mighty Hebrew.
Good man. I like to limit back off that, man. Everywhere on the face of the earth I have been, they have hip hop. They just rap it in their language, but they take everything that we do. Like as soon as we started to come out with a new style, like they start using auto tunes, or it's a new beat, new, you know what I'm saying, a new way to rap, mumble rap. They got it everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I mean, every country. I mean, every country in Asia, every country in South America, Central America. You know, I'm pretty sure every country in Africa, every Arab country, and even the white country. You know what I'm saying? You got the the Romanian boys and the Russian rappers, and all these rappers from everywhere. FBA, we started that, man. You know what I'm saying? And they got to give us our props. They got to give us our dues. You know what I'm saying? Everything has been commercialized. Everything has been pushing into, let's turn it into a style of rap, a knowledge, a lack of knowledge of rap to destroy our people. You know what I mean? And so, but it's always good to know the original origins of everything that we do and everything that we have started. So now we know where it started from. It started all from knowledge. And that's what the Scoring Black Man podcast is about. That's what Hilltop Travel Everywhere is about. You know what I'm saying? That's what Fire Talk Radio podcast is about. And that's what the Mighty Hebrew, aka Prince Yashar, you know what I'm saying, has been bringing forth for years and years. You know what I'm saying? And I hope y'all really appreciated this presentation, because especially the end of this thing with the knowledge. That's what it's all about. And that was my favorite part of the whole presentation, to bring out, you know what I'm saying, showing from, the Hebrew Israelites, the 5%ers, the Moorish Science, the Nation of Islam, you know what I'm saying, it's, the Nuwabians, you know what I'm saying, even, so it goes on, man. It's real deep, man. It's real deep, man. It's deeper than rap. It's deeper than rap. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, brother, I don't know. I don't have the links for the videos or whatever, but if y'all could get them up, we can play them. If not, we could just give them out.
I sent them to the last link I sent to the email that Ben Don Yahuda gave me. I sent it to that.
Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna see if it's on there. But yeah, y'all know, so y'all do some talking real quick.
Okay, absolutely. Again, give a shout out. I see Queen B Teller B on here. You know what I'm saying? A high advocate of original hip hop, and Hebrew Israelite, also a Earth. You know what I'm saying? And the nation gods and earth, but she definitely know her Hebrew Israelite roots and heritage as an Israelite. Oh man, it's just an honor to be a continuous beacon of bringing our people back to a conscious state of reality, because Hilltop said it best. I just came out with a song, give a shout out to Tanzanian producer, by the name of Wise Man. We just did what is known as the Modern Cipher. Oh man, you got cats on there like Black, Fine Girl, Possible, myself, Mula Montana. You know what I'm saying? So that just came out last week. You can hear it on YouTube, and it's a dope like video where you see us spitting and our words come up and I come on last. It's just dope. You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely influences of the of hip hop in the midst of people from Africa, but they also losing their rhythm because what happened back in the 1960s, you had a dude by the name of Fula, and Fula was the one that influenced Burna Boy. Fula was influenced by the Black Power movement. When he came from Nigeria to the United States, he was influenced by funk music, R&B, jazz, and Black Power. He took it back to Nigeria and created Afrobeat. A lot of people don't know that Afrobeat and Afrobeats is two different things. So the whole concept of Afrobeats was influenced by foundational Black American music. Hip hop started to permeate in the mid 1980s, between 1983 to 1986. It all depends on who you dialoguing with. But it came in the mid 1980s. You see it in Senegal, you see it in South Africa, and the very first pioneers of hip hop in Africa was heavily influenced by true original hip hop. They was influenced by the Wu-Tang Clans, the Sons of Mans, the Poor Righteous Teachers, Das Effect, EPMD, Redman, K Solo, Keith Murray, whatever the case may be. De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, the whole Native Tongues movement, etc., etc. But what happened when Afrobeat started to get more and more popular, it started to smother out hip hop in Africa. You know what I mean? Even though you still got hip hop, underground hip hop strong, like here in Tanzania, the strong elements of hip hop you're going to find in Dar es Salaam, and you're going with like cats coming from out of Wanza, like Young Killer. You also got from Dar es Salaam, even though he's a singer, with Afrobeat, you got cats like Diamond Platinum coming from out of Tanzania. But your major hip hop artists, real underground hip hop artists, is coming from Dar es Salaam and they coming from Arusha, right? And then you get into South Africa, you hear cats from South Africa banging hip hop artists. You got little elements in Kenya as well. But most of Africa is dominated by Afrobeat, which has become commercialized. Why? Because the Euro Gentile then capitalized off of that. And they use some of our own people based on province conditions. You know what I mean? They started to get cats out of province conditions, blow them up in the United States. And then in turn, you know what I'm saying, cats want to now push the Afrobeat, but in a commercializational way. Because when you really listen to the lyrics of Afrobeat, it's really down spiral lyrics. You don't hear them fighting the power, the revolution, speaking about corrupt organizations and government and things like that. You're not going to hear that because the way the younger generation is, their minds have been closed to such a point that they don't even have the idea or the understanding that there is a globalization of the demise of the Bantu speaking tribes that are in fact the children of Israel. They don't even know that the Afrobeat is being used for their destruction. Now, the original intent of Afrobeat was consciousness, the original intent of it. But as time developed, it turned somewhere else, and now it's something totally different today. So shout out to all the, original true hip hop artists that's out here in Africa that's really spitting that fire. You know what I mean? You got some cats over here in Africa that can really spit. Also give a shout out to Century, Chief Kantar. Who else, man? We got cats out here that's making things happen. My man, I can't forget King Fupa. You know, give a shout out to King Fupa. Who are Molano, the singer Molano. So I work with a lot of cats over here in Africa on my second and third album, and they definitely gonna be on my fourth album as well that I'm doing now. Hallelujah.
Hey, Hilltop, I sent that over to you in your email. It's the email. It should say from the Mighty Hebrew, has all the links in it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I love this. I love that we're doing this because this has to be a record for our people. Because our people, they have laws. It's to the point because you see it, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B's, you know, Megan Thee Stallion. I don't know how she's saying Stallion. That's a male horse, but anyway, you know what I'm saying? You low roller, etc., etc. What's that red sexy running around? You know, we know what's going on with her. I don't even want to repeat it. You know, and the whole thing that I'm saying is they are really putting our sisters in a state of total destruction like never before. And they don't even care. These people are influencing the sisters that have daughters. They got their daughters 3, 4 years old twerking. They got their daughters 3, 4 years old with weaves in their hair, extensions, all kinds of stuff. Like you don't have no child like that parading your child to be a you know, that W word or that H word. You know what I'm saying? And all this is predicated on money. We seen Sukihana say out of her mouth that she sold her soul and she regretted it. And give a shout out to Sukihana because a couple of times we spoke in the inbox on Hebrew Israelite culture because she did a post where she was saying that one day she might change her way and marry a Hebrew Israelite man. So when she said that, you should have seen how thirsty men was. Thousands of Israelite men was on there. And then she got the snapshot pictures with Umar Johnson. So you got people out there that know the know, but the money has possessed them. You know what I'm saying? And you see it over in Africa, heavy in Africa. Africa, the people are possessed with money. You think in the United States they possess, over in Africa, their power, their God is money. I'm telling you right now, even when you're dealing in relationships, whether you're talking about male and female relationships, business relationships, whatever, everything is predicated on this, on money. And if you run out of money, you run out of friends. These are just facts. And this is what the world has become dominated under. They've been dominated on that dollar bill. See how fast a woman from Africa stay with you if you don't have no money. Just see. See if she love you for money or for that spiritual connection. That's the difference from foundational Black American relationships versus relationships in Africa. We hide these things. Relationships with foundational Black Americans is spiritual and emotional. Relationships in Africa is strictly financial. I'm telling y'all facts. I am telling
Yeah,
y'all,
that's
I can see it with my own eyes. And I'm not saying that you can't find love in Africa. That's not getting twisted. But I'm talking about it became a part and a subculture within the culture of these different African tribes and societies that everything is dominated by money. Money is their god in Africa. I'm telling you right now. And anybody want to repatriate, you got to have a certain mind state. And if that mind state is not on point, even where Hilltop is from, it's
I
like
was just
that
about
in
to say it
Asia.
right now in Southeast Asia. It's all about money. You know what I mean? You know,
Mhm,
yeah. I mean, you know, I mean, reiterated what you just said right there. You know what I'm saying? And you
mhm,
know, I can see it. I know it's about that over in Africa too, because you got some of the same people over here. You got the Africans over here. You know what I'm saying? You got the Asians over there, and so yeah, you know, and I can test, you know, to a certain degree, that's what it is in Central and South America. You know what I'm saying? Caribbean islands.
yeah, you see a lot of them passport brothers getting set up over there in Latin America, losing their life. Then you
Yeah,
see sisters coming on their own in Africa and Gambia and Ghana, losing their life, marrying, you know, African men, quote unquote African men, and then they kill them sisters and take their money and their cars. I'm just
yeah,
telling y'all facts. These are facts. So we have to be mindful that we still fight in the power. We fight in the power. And sometimes you fight in the power within your own people because they've been possessed by an idea. Because to them, remember Tony Montana? The world is yours. Look at the images they gave us. Y'all got to understand what changed hip hop from a revolutionary grassroots movement to something that is destroying us. They seen Tony Montana. The world is yours. He trying to get this money, selling cocaine. The first thing he take another man's wife. You got to
mm,
see the things that they've shown us that we glorify and incorporated it in hip hop. We have to be careful. Our objective is to keep the original culture of hip hop alive. So then one day this can be returned again and to us, and we use it in a positive way. So now you're getting these mighty Hebrews, these Maharakas, these faith in Israel. You're getting these Israelites coming out, bringing hip hop to its social and corrective fullness. You get, you know, your uniques, Tella B's husband. You get these different people that are coming out consciously. You heard Killer Priest's new album just came out 2 months ago. On the 11th song, he said, "The mighty Hebrew is mine, is lethal." So you seeing us coming together in this grassroots saying, look, this is where hip hop was to be. Imagine if they wouldn't have never infiltrated hip hop. Do you understand the influence of the world? They had to infiltrate because remember, hip hop was connecting these Bantu speaking Israelite tribes. So they had to disrupt it. They had to and made it a money thing. You ain't got no money, you kick rocks and tell your story walking. This is
Right.
about money now. Money and sacrifice. That's why I forgot that guy's name, but he just was on Facebook. Somebody was being recorded, and for the money, the man sacrificed his own son. And he
Yeah,
said, I can
I think he called
see
himself
that.
Unc 607 or something like that.
Yeah, that's him. Talking about he can make more sons. And when you look at this man, because he had dreads and his eyes was real beady, you can see the possession within this man. And everybody laughing, but they really don't understand what they have done to hip hop. So I want to thank, you know what I'm saying, the Scorn Black Man podcast for letting me do this. Let's get to the slides. Let's get to the slides real quick, you know what I mean, and then close it out. Because I need the people to see the visual. You see what I'm saying? Our people need to see that so they can embrace the feeling once again that was so wickedly cut off from their lawns. And that is that hip hop is a foundational Black American experience. Puerto Ricans are the first students of hip hop, and Jamaicans involved. It was the Fat Boys. They are the ones that brought in the Jamaican sound. Anybody that understand hip hop and the evolution of hip hop know when who came in. They used the Beastie Boys, and before that, they used Blondie. They used Blondie, the white girl, the You're Gentile. All these people they use to infiltrate hip hop and integrate it from a revolutionary resistant movement to an integration, money hungry, sacrificial, cultic movement. That's what they did. So now if y'all can pull up them slides, it'll be definitely dope. Tell a B said we got the Tell a B said
the same slide.
Huh?
You say the same slide because I wasn't able to find the music clips, but you talking about the same slide we just pulled up?
No, don't do it. Just do this. We're going to do it like this. That's we old heads. We got this. So type in YouTube Trixie, the first break dancer. Trixie is Trixie. That's all. We're going to do it like that. Sometimes we got to maneuver a little bit. So we're going to type in YouTube Trixie, the first B-boy breakdancer. This clip might be like 47 seconds, something like that. But I want y'all to hear, and I need you to show on the screen so I can show you which one to hit. This is how we going to do it. But like Tella B TV said, Queen B Tella B said, we have to document our history. Y'all see my 15-year-old son on here. So he'll know the origin of hip hop so it can be appreciated, because a lot of the new school hip hop artists been severed away from old school hip hop. That's why if you notice, if a new school hip hop artist, if you listen to their music versus our music, we're lyrically better. The ones that are lyrically inclined are the ones that stay focused with hip hop, like your Kendrick Lamar's right there, that very first one with his hand up. Hit that first. Now, let's hear from the creator of breakdancing, what he say that where hip hop come from. Blow that up and unmute it, and let's hear what he say.
Okay. Now,
fair use. Fair use.
We put it to you straight up. There wasn't no Puerto Ricans.
Wasn't no Puerto Rican.
Coming to the parties.
Okay. So wasn't no Puerto Rican breakdancers.
There wasn't no Puerto Rican.
But you saying you started it.
I started. And I'm not Puerto Rican.
You're not Puerto Rican.
I'm not.
So now we hear Trixie, the founder, the very first B-boy, also part of what became known as the Herculoids, right? Right? So he said out of his own mouth, there wasn't no Puerto Ricans coming in the parks. This is out of his own mouth. So we can't say that this is a lie. We're going directly out of his own mouth. Press play.
Puerto Rican.
Wow.
I am black and proud.
Okay.
My mama's from North Carolina, and my daddy's from South Carolina.
Okay, salute,
we black,
salute.
We Indian.
And my mama's from North Carolina, and my dad.
I'm telling you to stop on purpose so you won't get struck. This is how you do it, so you don't get struck. So we hear, he said, I ain't Puerto Rican. I'm black. I'm proud. My mother from North Carolina, my father from South Carolina. We black, we Indian. And what do you mean by Indian? We know that you got the Aboriginal movement, and we know that many of our people said we had Indian in us. Now, to understand true Israelite history, we're not talking about the 12 tribe chart. Now, those of the southeast section of the United States that are natives, they are in fact Israelites by the way of the navigation of King Solomon's naval fleets of the 9th century BCE. And some of them stayed and created colonies, and they start building mounds in them areas. And I spoke about this before. Now, they are the ones that our ancestors mixed with. Some became known as Geechee and different stuff like that. Okay. Now, all natives are not Israelites. So let's make that clear. Only Israelites that are called Native Americans are those from the southeast section of the United States, the Chippewas, the Blackfoots, the Seminoles, the Apaches, the Mohawks, the Cherokees, etc., etc. They are in fact Israelites. But when you start talking about the Mayans, them Aztecs, them Incans, them Olmecs and all them, they not our people. They not our people. So I just want y'all to hear what he said. Rewind it one more time. Rewind that one more time. Hilltop. Started from the beginning and play it straight through.
Okay.
Now, we put it to you straight up. There wasn't no Puerto Ricans
Wasn't no Puerto Rican.
coming
Wow.
to the parties.
Okay. So wasn't no Puerto Rican breakdances.
There wasn't no Puerto Rican.
But you said you started it.
I started, and I'm not Puerto Rican.
You're not Puerto Rican.
I'm not Puerto Rican.
Wow.
I am black and proud.
Okay.
My mama's from South North Carolina, and my daddy's from South Carolina.
Okay.
We
Salute.
black,
Salute.
we Indian.
And my mama's from South North Carolina. And my daddy's from South Carolina. Okay, salute. Black, we Indian.
So we heard it straight from out of his mouth. So y'all can't be like, oh man, you making that up. Now watch this. I want you to go type in pig meat Marham. Here comes the judge. Pig meat Marham. And put in here comes the judge. So there it is right there. We're going to listen to little snippets of this. This is 1968, the very first one where it says Pig meat Marham. Hit that. 1968.
เทพไทยแล้วรู้สึกยังไงครับ
ปกติก็จะเปลี่ยนยาสีฟันเรื่อยๆพอได้ใช้เทพไทยไม่เปลี่ยนแล้วค่ะคือไม่คิดว่าจะมียาสีฟันอะไรที่ช่วยให้ปากสะอาดได้ขนาดนี้ชอบมากค่ะ
ยาสีฟันเทพไทยใช้นิดเดียวปากสะอาด
เทพไทยเท่านั้นค่ะ
Oh, they're gonna make you.
Yeah, this court is now in session. His Honor, Judge Pigmeat Martin Poseidon.
1968, listen.
Yeah, he, the coat of swing is just about ready to do that thing. I don't want no tears, I don't want no lies. Above all, I don't want no alibis. This judge is hip, and that ain't all. He'll give you time if you're big or small. Fall in line or this coat is neat.
You hear it come now. It's about the beat gonna come, and y'all gonna be like, oh. So we hear he, call the swing. Just about to do that thing. I don't need the brat. So this is 1968, and we have the black spades from out of their own mouth, saying out of their own mouth that he is the inspiration of them rapping. Hit it. Go ahead, hit it.
Peace, brother. Uh-oh, here come the judge. Here come the judge. Everybody know that he is the judge. Everybody, near and far, I'm going to Paris to stop this war. All those cats got to listen to me because I am the judge and you can plainly see. I want a big round table when I get there. I won't sit down to wonder square. I'm going to lay down the law. They better not budge. I'll bust some head because I am the judge. He is the
I'm gonna bust some heads. I am the judge. I am the judge. Right? This is hip hop. What are you talking about? What are y'all talking about? Yo, this is all foundational Black Americans. Hit it one more time. We're not playing the whole thing. Hit it one more time. This is the last time. Come on.
The judge, he is the judge. Everybody knows that he is the judge. Who's there? Eyes. Eyes who? Eyes your next door neighbor. Out of this courtroom. Out of this courtroom.
Judge, your honorship high, sir. Did I hear you say order in the court?
Yes, I said order.
Well, I'll take 2 cans of beer, please.
He is the judge. He is the judge. Everybody knows that he is the judge.
Stop.
I had a chat with Ho Chi Minh.
So we're going to leave that there. We're going to leave that there. So type in breakdancing 1930s. See, what I'm doing is I'm showing y'all that the elements of hip hop already existed amongst foundational Black Americans before it was codified in the West Bronx into a cultural form. Hit that first one right there. Let's look at some breakdancing. This is in the 1930s. Okay? Check this out, y'all. Peep it.
Look here, children. Now how come? This here barbecue looks so glum. Speak up, sister. You ain't dumb. How come? How come? How come? How come?
We were dancing Froggy Cup, but the band done stood us up.
No time and no jumping.
Stop.
Well, I
Stop.
guess this goes for something.
Do you hear them rapping? This is light work. They're rapping. This is in the 1930s. Before they even start dancing, they're rhyming. Didn't we just hear this? Didn't we hear this? Huh? Hit it. Let's go. Let's get it. Oh, yeah. Get it. Yeah. Now watch, y'all about to see these cats start breakdancing. This ain't nothing I'm making up.
She was doing the stanky leg, man.
Yeah, doing the stanky leg. Huh?
She was doing the stanky leg when she first started out dancing. I was like, oh shit. She was
Right, I
getting
see
down,
you,
man.
God.
Getting sturdy up in that joint.
Right, right. So as y'all can clearly see, y'all about to see them break dance. Watch this. Press play. Watch this. Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh, watch out now.
Oh, yeah. Stop it. Stop it. Forgive us, y'all. We have to stop it because there's a law. Like we some of these videos you can show them straight through, but we don't want this to get taken down. So I'm not taking no chance. So you can show 40 seconds, then you got to stop it. 40 seconds, you got to stop it. Now, here they go. Watch how they start breakdancing. Now, is this me or is this the foundation of breakdancing? Press play.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of James Brown moves in there too.
Oh, yeah, stop. So I'm saying, right? So we seen that dude was doing the windmill.
Yes.
I mean, like, are they kidding me? Are they kidding me? Now watch this. Go to the education of Sonny Carson scenes or clippings. The education of Sonny Carson clippings. Watch this. So we gonna remember they said, you know, there's a certain way that you talk, right? In hip hop. So let's find out, you know what I mean? Now slide down. Slide down. Because we're gonna use that one too. But slide down a little bit. Keep going. Slide down. Keep sliding. That guy right there with the big lips. You see the guy right there? Him, yup. How many minutes? Yeah, that's it.
Yo, man, like you see all them old creeps over there, man. You know, and you know they ain't cool with us, man. You know they gonna want some static, man.
Hell
I mean, like, what do y'all want to do with these motherfuckers?
Listen to him. Say, man, you see them dudes of this 1974. You see them dudes over there, man, they want some static. Listen to how we're talking. This is foundational Black American talk. Remember, there's a certain way you talk in hip hop, right? Isn't there a certain way that you talk? Tell them to show us their receipts amongst Hispanic exploitative movies. We can show you in Black exploitative movies that we was already fly. Huh? This 1974. Press play.
Fuckers, man. You know, it's up to everybody what we gonna do. Yeah. Now, we gotta lay cool.
We tired of being cool, man. Every time we turn around, you telling us to be cool. Shit, man, we tired. Every time we get in an argument with the Lord, you say be cool. The same thing, be cool. We be too cool, we gonna lose.
We gonna lose. Who number one? Who's number one? How we gonna do it? All right then. That's all.
Don't you think all in favor to get there and say, ah. Yeah! There it is.
I figure this way. Now, when we get in there.
He said, who are we, the Hawks? And there was a real gang in New York and Brooklyn known as the Tomahawks. They the Tomahawks, and they gonna fight the Lords. Now, this is gonna be the last scene. Listen to what he say. Press play. Watch this.
Yeah. And when I start rumbling with Little Boy, then we'll all do it. Me and Little Boy had it for a long time. We had it in the school. Nigga thought he was bad in the school. You understand? This is where I really want. I just want to kill this nigga. Ain't nobody gonna hurt Little Boy. Nobody.
All right, it's a little bit more I got to show. It didn't come up yet. It's about to come up. So he's like, yo, man, I just want to rumble. We talking, listen to our slang talk. This is 1974. Where they talk, where are Jamaicans and Puerto Ricans talking like that at this time? They not talking like us because it's all Black American. It's foundational Black American. They had to absorb themselves into our culture to be accepted. We didn't absorb ourselves into Jamaican culture and music. We didn't absorb ourselves into Hispanic music and culture. In turn, they absorbed themselves into our culture and musical sound. Press play.
And they gonna go like that. Little Boy. Excuse me, brother. You got it.
We don't care nothing about them. You dig it? I'm quite sure they don't care nothing about us. You dig it? But you know how they gonna do. Because they're a bunch of jazz artists. They sneak you. You dig? They fucked that man up right there. They kicked his ass.
Yeah.
They snuck him.
That wasn't even right.
Because nobody was with him. What they do to you, man?
They fucked me up, man. They threw me on the ground and stopped me.
Man, if we don't stop that shit now, man, they gonna keep fucking somebody up, man.
You know what we gotta do there, man.
He got to die. I got to take him off of here. That's right. I gotta take him off of here. There's only one, and that's me. You understand?
Right.
For all that fighting,
right.
You understand? The sucker think he good. The sucker think he can whoop me. And I know he can't whoop me. Hey, boy, the nigga whole style is chump. You understand? When it comes to me, you understand? So let me get mine.
That's what I was waiting for. Stop that. Rewind that one, that little part one was, he said, oh man, style straight chump. Rewind that part. That was what I was waiting for. Look how he talking. Right there. That's exactly what I was waiting for.
He good.
Hit that again.
He can whoop me. And I know he can't whoop me. Hey, boy, the nigga whole style is chump. You understand? When it comes to me, you understand? So let me get mine first. Then after I get mine, you can do what you want to do.
What we gonna do, man? Anybody got something to say? Speak on it.
So what are they talking about? What are they talking about? Now, type in DJ Disco King Mario. See what I'm doing? You see what I'm doing? I'm showing y'all job talk, right? Rapping. All that started with Foundational Black America. They can't do this. But they keep saying, like Fat Joe 50-50. There was never no 50-50 with us. Never. That's like me coming to Hilltop House, right? There you go, right there. It's not that one, that one right there. That one where you see him holding the earpiece to his ear. That's the one you go to. Yeah. That's like, you know.
ด้วยแคปเสิร์ชซื้อถูกกว่าที่ช้อปปี้
You can tell he in Thailand. So stop it right there. So I was saying that's like me going to Hilltop House and every Sunday he have the Sunday meal, right? And at the Sunday meal, your mother make collard greens, neck bones, macaroni. Y'all been doing this for 80 years. I come as a guest. Now all of a sudden, I'm the one that found this particular Sunday meal. And I'm plagiarizing it like it's my own. That's what they doing. That's what Fat Joe and all y'all doing. That's what Busta Rhymes is doing. Y'all came into somebody else's house, took what don't belong to y'all, and then try to say it's y'all's. That's crazy. Press play. Let's find out the truth. Come on.
Instead of me fulfilling my prophecy, I have to start one. Instead of me carrying on the empire, I have to build one.
It simply does not hold that the white race should turn over to a group of people only removed from the jungle by a few hundred years.
I was raised to understand that you cannot know where you're going if you don't know where we've been.
Fast forward a little bit. Just fast forward right there, right there. Yeah, no, right there where Busy Bee talking. Go back a little bit. Go back a little.
And you know you
go back a little. Watch this, y'all.
This is the first time that I get a chance to actually speak upon you with the utmost
respect that you deserve in our culture of hip hop. To me, you are one of the 4 founders of our culture. If it was a Mount Morris or what they call it, Mount Rich Morris or whatever the fuck they want to call it, you're supposed to stand there with your gangster hat on.
Prickola, you died on me too soon, and you know you should have stuck around to be talking about your own legacy. But you know what? As long as I'm here and you got a voice in me, I'm going to project that voice and let people know that you definitely was a bard and a pillar in this whole genre that we call music of the DJs.
Stop. So we see the very beginning, we see the legendary Busy B and the legendary Jazzy J. They giving respect to Disco King Mario. And if you watch this documentary, it breaks down how he's the one that schooled Kool Herc. He's the one that schooled Bambaataa. He was before he was the liaison of hip hop. That's the true godfather of hip hop. Not Kool Herc, not Bambaataa, not Grandmaster Flash. Okay? Stop there. Now type in Grandmaster Flowers. See, we got to do it like this because we can't get struck. Matter of fact, play it one more time. Let him close out on this last play because I want to hear something about DJ Disco and Disco King Mario. Press play real quick, one more time.
As a child, the Bronx was the world. It was an amazing place to grow up.
You know, being from the Bronx and knowing that the Bronx got so much history, the Bronx is so magical, and there's a lot of people that went on to become, you know, movie stars and television, great musicians. We just came from a really, really rough background.
We started beatboxing because we couldn't afford drums.
We were poor.
Now fast forward a little bit. Let's see if we can see King DJ Disco, Disco King Mario. I just want to show his face. Keep going. No, you gotta fast forward it. Go forward. Because these are people talking about him. So you should see a picture. He have a hat on or something. There you go, right there. Now, peep what they say right here about how he was getting. He's the one that was.
All of the people in the schools, we got to know all of the janitors in the school, and Mario tightened up everybody. He said, "Hey, I tightened them up, Cindy. I tightened them up so we can get to school again." Because I greased their palms. He said, "I gave them a little extra, Cindy. I gave them a little extra $50. He said, "They said, anytime you want it, Mario, anytime you want to school, you just come. I'll give it to you, nobody else."
I'm glad you rewinding it. I see that you see it. Yup, right there. That's perfect. Hit that.
That was the last big thing they played then. We couldn't get the place. They didn't want to rent the place. Mario said, "Let me go in it."
This isn't my normal crowd.
I think, baby, I'm gonna come in here with the worm. You know that.
Every place he'd go, he would snake. He would say, "Cindy."
Love it. It's gonna be so big.
Next thing you know, Mario said, "We got it." Bam got really popular because a lot of places Bam played that he wouldn't be able to play. It wasn't for Mario.
Mario had risen to the top. He was loved.
For Mario, Bam wouldn't be able. Come on, man. What are y'all talking about? Why y'all keep saying that these are the godfathers when if it wasn't for DJ Disco King Mario, Bam wouldn't even be able to play them? Because you got to remember, back in them times, everything was gang infested. So you couldn't just come and just play anywhere. Your equipment would get stolen. You probably get shot, stabbed up, robbed. So Bam and Herc had to get the green light from Disco King Mario. These are just facts. Like I said, he was the liaison of hip hop. He was the ambassador, or what we would say in Hebrew, the Shop Greer. He was the Shop Greer of hip hop.
So basically, he had to pass through all the areas in order to set up shop wherever he wanted to.
Yeah, see, DJ Disco King Mario, he was able to go anywhere. Do you see anything that say DJ Flowers? It might be a couple of seconds, maybe like a minute.
It said Grandmaster Flowers rare cameo interview out there.
How many minutes?
I can't see what the minutes is.
I think it's real short. Hit that one.
How many minutes on that one with the rare cameo interview?
The most dynamic individuals among the many dynamic individuals that are playing music in New York today. Kind of to the discredit of the music world, I think it's time that I first introduce you to Cameron Flowers, who is one of the founders of disco music and one of the innovators, working hard here, hidden down behind. How you doing, Flowers?
I'm all right.
We are kind of, I want you to remain like loose and talk to New York like you're talking to your record player. And what is disco?
Well, let's see, what is disco?
What is it to you?
Disco to me is more or less a life for now. And I feel that the field is quite overflowed with.
Go to the other one, not this one. Because I want, as you can see, is DJ Grandmaster Flowers. Okay, go back. Okay, the one right there where you see the star. The star in yeah, that one. Try that.
Grandmaster Flowers was a Brooklyn DJ that was known as the mixologist. He played from the late 1960s to the late 1970s in the parks of Brooklyn and eventually made it to the clubs downtown. He's also noted to be the first Grandmaster.
Stop. He's the first Grandmaster. see how my PowerPoint is aligning with the actual facts? And we're going directly to the pioneers, eyewitnesses. Devarim, or Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 19 verse 15 say to not have one witness, but you need 2 to 3 witnesses. Press play.
Press play. Farragut Projects, 237 Nassau Street. He started playing music in the 60s when he was in junior high school. He started out in a club down on Flatbush Avenue, 243 Club, which was down by Flatbush and Myrtle.
I worked with him in the early 70s, but he was doing it much before that. And I have the documented proof with flyers to show you.
One night we were playing at a club called the New World, and one of the promoters there had drawn up a flyer, and he put music by Flowers, the Wizard of Oz. And I took the flyer home, I reworked it, I brought it back, and I named him the Grandmaster Flowers because of the type of music that he played.
On West Indian Parade, David Day, he used to be the.
So this man know the man personally. He the one gave him the name Grandmaster. Foundational Black Americans. We was playing all kinds, because you got to remember Brooklyn also had immigrants too. Press play. This is the last play.
Only one in Washington Park playing club music, the mixologist. He went up against these West Indians. They was called Starlight Disco, I think. Starlight Disco, and then they had the parade going on, and Flowers just plugged his stuff up and started playing.
Stop.
And he tore the whole crowd.
So he's bad on, this is a foundational Black American bad on West Indians, and he destroying them. He was playing, so the original Grandmaster is Grandmaster Flowers, not Grandmaster Flash. Now type in Cornbread, first graffiti artist. No, type in Cornbread, Mass Appeal. That's what you do. Type in Cornbread, Mass Appeal. Separate them. Type in Cornbread and then Mass Appeal. Because everything I'm coming off the dome. So I'm because I don't have my notes, but that's fine. Did you type in Cornbread Mass Appeal? You might have to put graffiti next to it. Like put Cornbread Mass Appeal graffiti, it'll pop in. Because they done pulled up some actual cornbread. But that's where you actually got the name Cornbread from. Because when he was locked up, he wanted cornbread. You know what I'm saying? And that's how he got the name. Try just put cornbread and then graffiti. Do it like that. Yeah, just put cornbread and then graffiti. And it'll pop in. Right there. See where it says Mass Appeal? Hit that. The very first one. See where it says Mass Appeal? Right there. Yup.
ให้สุดกับช็อกโกแลตเบลเจียมหนากรอบพร้อมชิ้นอัลมอนด์แมกนัมฟินให้สุด
New Mu X The Next Peak 2.2 DDI Max Force กำหนดจุดสูงสุดใหม่ที่เหนือกว่า
I was the only person in the world who wrote his name on the walls for the sole purpose of establishing a reputation. I changed the historical course of my generation and generations that followed me and gave birth to a global phenomenon. My name is Daryl McCray, aka Cornbread. I am the first element of hip hop, 1965. I wrote my name on the walls day in, day out, every day, everywhere.
Come on, man. The pioneers are still alive. All we got, see, this is how you show receipts. They can't do this. Where they at? Hit it one more time. And then we're going to show one more and close out.
My very first tag on the wall was in the halls of a juvenile institution, Youth Development Center, 1965. You walked inside these institutions, all you seen was cornbread. The teachers, the social workers, and the staff thought that I suffered from a mental deficit. I wrote my name every day, day and night. That's what I did, as opposed to involving myself in the neighborhood in regard to the drugs, the gang war killing, selling drugs, using drugs. I wasn't about that. I was just spray painting the name Cornbread everywhere.
In the heat of the night, with the bump of the ball on the floor of the court, on the sides of the hall. He's cornbread. He's cornbread.
One particular time, I read in the newspapers that Cornbread is shot to death. It read, the fantastic career of Philadelphia best graffiti artist came to Violent Sunday outside a hotel and bar. I went on to talk about all the things that I did.
So y'all can look that up. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, so maybe we can close this out. I can come back with another part. Oh, there is one more. Yeah, there is one more that I do got to show. Yup. Type in Zulu Nation Philly. Yup, type that in. Zulu Nation Philly. Or Philadelphia, it don't matter. Let's see. So right there, that very first right there. Now remember, I said Zulu Nation didn't start with Bambaataa. It started in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in the 60s. This is a clip here in 1969. You can show the whole thing straight through because only like 40 seconds.
And
blow that up.
Schools
Watch.
in North Philadelphia, high schools and junior high schools are controlled by gangs in terms of territorial boundaries. And if you placed, for instance, a new school in the heart of the Zulu Nation, you will come up with the possibility that that school will be controlled by the Zulus, and the other members of the community who live in the general community.
Come on, man. This is, don't it say Zulu Nation Gang, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1969? So the Zulu Nation didn't start in New York. It started in Philadelphia. Remember, Bambaataa received inspiration of the word Zulu from watching the Michael Caine 1964 movie, Zulu. Okay? That's where he got his inspiration from. But the Zulu Nation Gang originated out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Press play.
Especially males, will drop out of school and not attend that school because they have to fight their way to get there. They have to fight the way while they're in there and fight their way home.
So we're going to close out, if we can, with my new song. And you ain't got to worry about fair use on this. Anybody can use it. We got it hooked up where you can use it. You won't get struck. If you type in modern, what is it? Modern Cypher Wise Man. And we can close out with that. That'll be great. Can we do it, Hilltop? I see you, Don Yahuda. Yo, that joint dope. How y'all got? It's daytime out here now. It's almost 8 in the morning.
Yeah, it's midnight here.
Oh, it's midnight over there, huh?
Yeah, it's midnight here.
Wow.
I'm talking about to step away from the computer for a minute. But hey, this is a powerful presentation, man.
Spell that real quick. Spell that real quick. You say it's called what now? Modern?
Oh,
Modern what?
type in Modern Cypher, and then you type next to it Wise Man, like somebody mad at you. It's one word, Wise, W-I-S-E, Mad, M-A-D. See if it'll pop up. This is myself and some Tanzanian artists. You ain't got to worry about it. And you ain't going to get struck or nothing. You only get struck if somebody try to own the rights and all that old crazy stuff.
And you say
none of that.
Modern Cypher, and what was the other word? The last word?
Wise Mad.
Okay, Wise Mad. Okay.
Yes. That's one word. Let's see what pop up. This is myself. It just came out last week. This is myself and some Tanzanian artists I rapped last. You got Fly Girl on here, Fine Girl, Mula Montana, Possible, Black, myself. You know what I mean? Let's get it. You know what I'm saying?
You're entrenched in the Tanzanian community at this point, ain't you?
Oh man, I'm just doing little stuff here, there, everywhere. Do you see it? It should go to the beginning. Do you see it? I might have to send you the link real quick. I'm gonna send you the link real fast. Hold on. I'm gonna send you the link and put it in the back. I'm gonna go directly to the link. Hold on. So you ain't gotta do on. Yeah, but I'm definitely linked in the real heavy over here. Absolutely. Here it is. I got it. All right, so let me. Now I'm back in. Okay. So now I'm going to the chat, right? I will go to the back, right? Okay, I see it. So I would go to top chat. Okay, back chat. There we go. Got it. You see it?
Yeah.
I put it in the back chat. So that's close out with that one. You know what I'm saying? Because they there it is right there. Yup. Modern Cypher. I just want to be, before you hit it, give a shout out to
Telling is simple, grip, checking, nigga was telling a dog. Surveillance on the week, the random man, them cash with flop. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sports it goes. Story in the best up, to my beach truck, stop this na bros. If you catch me under the ceiling, chilling, I'm healing. Always niggas on clock, check it, more than Mali. So bread and easy, bro, keep trying my pass, who's funny the door. Yeah, my niggas on Goku, yeah. The city, kusanga my door. Hautaki confess, hatuwezi kwa sawa. Hatuwezi kuendana, hatuwezi kwa wana, kwa siwezi kwa chawa. Na siwezi kufake, hiyo ndo mbaya, tutakuja kwa sana. Nishafanya mistake, nishapataga kesi, paka wakasema na lana. Watoto wadogo na kanya, story za mimi ni nani na nini nafanya, muulize hiyo mama. Nite the street king, shagundua haujui maana. Kila nachofanya leo huwa mimi nafanya vyema, tena ni zaidi ya jana. Mwana, nooks, rada, juu, tagi, troops, bado sichana umedata na looks. Nafanya wa mshindo kuchoose, na kesha mkitaka ni loose. I'll be the king, me na stress could lose.
Listen, I'm beating the fine G. Vitu na temani OMG. Mombi na sala KKT. Bidi ni rest ni ambulance. Fabulous. Kichwa hesabu na calculate. Penye biti na mic ndo na confess. Fake rap mkiji mixing ni mazishi na si confess. Pumzi kubwa kwenye maukoto. Msone easy mepitia msoto. Leta kazi usilete utoto. Squeeze silala na kimbiza ndoto. Vile niko fire ni dragon. Magic girl nito poison. Ukinipeleka fana badili ton. Bitches punguza campaign. Sio tozi mtu wa viani sugar mami. Soki benten tapeli mtu wa madenden. Campaigns in a gang. Fine, never entertain. Fall for the money, I never be lazy. Spitting like crazy. Ass quick, this me, I'm waving. And I'm real, says to pretend. Ready for haters, yes I am. Ready for game, yes I am. Ready for haters, yes I am. Ready for...
Nanzana hii, possible mimi. Nachotamta aniko win. Bado zaidi ya ligi, zaidi ya speedy ndo maana sishkikin. Hizi njia za mtelezo umespiti. Wanataka kutoboa kila aini la sasa basi mimi masai nishapewa rungu cheki sasa navo kill no didi. Kuta jana, basi kifika leo wejota ni kosi hizi flow shashindikana. Aba mumlete straight destiny au stop ni sawa na kushine na game. Wako waoni tunajua, wezi kuliposa, move the stars maze. In this game better call me Mr. Free Osa. Rap skills you a bit now, wanna shake head getting nails but they can't handle my game. Dark face nigga, I don't fuck with the complaints that veil. Na wasolo tu kwa hizo hatred. This level iko juu sana kama MySpace. Na wagizo utasema tu hizo pancake punches. Kaza cortex ni complex. No avoid yes wanabaki topless. You already know I don't fake it broke. Misa nini cookie bros. I didn't flow, don't compare me to Rex. No he's not so so mala masuka really choke. Una chakige bro. Speed drives like Cobra. Then I must flow, pulling guys like Commando. Kwenye kila show, put me down, punch your palm and flex like a ball pass flow on my vase. Nigga napotoa doors, killer calls, mirror calls. 2K na vuruga kote, so what you saying? I'm here to sustain. Najua kushop, na soko Spain. I make it simple, mifundi kalamu. Eti fupi ndo tamu, nasikiaga kisema la misi fahamu. I kill them all, na mwaga midamu. Steve for life, na tuko timamu. Kuna naifanya navyofanya, najua mnafanya. La black to no wanafanya sana. Niggas wanadai wanafoza pana. I'll read to miss na sound car drama. Man on my mind, mziki damuni. I got the bag na run. moto unatapakaa bila kunewa one. Hile ma black Mac Tesson na tisha kimonekano ama Black Python speed 360 green lights na kuna kuniguza unapuma mic on.
Boom, return of the Jedi, aka Jedediah. I'm a higher miss, y'all's powers, crushing twin towers, around Unison remix, 2/3 sleep like Nemix, night creeping, gorillas in the midst, fiending, with the blood of Venus in Serena, 1/3 in Philly's death arenas, Israelites fight America, the Coliseum, truth is icon in museums, world police concentrate our camps in degrees, into 32 freeze, fuck rich societies with a dagger. I stab a saw, I and me using connect ideology that kept my people from this shit, my creed. Causing Resident Evil tonight, we can't see. Reincarnating Edom, that was wasted from salvation into a cursed nation that invaded. Yasha Allah's haven, so the rain with devil fangs, turning revolutionaries into gangs banging.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, let me ask you something. That's a Tanzanian accent?
Huh?
That's a Tanzanian accent they was rapping with?
Yeah.
Man, I thought they was about to say bruv and all type of stuff, man. It sound like they coming out the United Kingdom and Canada.
They rapping in Swahili. They rapping in Swahili.
Okay. Yeah, I thought they was gonna be saying bruv and wagwan and all and everything else.
Yeah, and they rapping with a little English, stuff like that. So dope, man. Dope.
Yeah, that's a fire song.
I got Mind Mental Was Never Destroyed, my first album. That came out 2021. My second album, Journey to the Dark Side of the Moon, 2023. My new album, War Cloud, that just came out 2024. Then my new single just came out a couple of months ago, King Hezekiah, which is going to be on my newest album, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, coming out 2025. It was definitely an honor and a privilege to be on the Scorn. Yeah, somebody just said, yeah, that was different. They said, yeah, that was different. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta get my albums. Yeah, did y'all listen to my albums? Yeah, any of y'all?
Yeah. I got a couple of your albums downloaded in my Google Play.
How you like it?
They fire. I got a couple you got a couple hits that I put in rotation. I'm pulling up now so I could just show you. I don't know if you can see it close.
It said, what did it say? What did it say?
See it say right there, Mighty Hebrew. On my playlist. I got hold on, go to my library. See, I'm on my work phone, so but yeah, I got a few of your albums. I got like 2, maybe 3 of them.
Okay. Absolutely. Hilltop. You listen to any of my music?
Oh yeah, I done heard a couple songs back in, probably like a couple of years ago on FOP channel and stuff, man. Thank you, man, for coming on, doing your presentation, and bringing out the once again, this is episode 61 on the Scorn Black Man podcast, and just a show also on Hilltop Traveling Everywhere, also on Fire Talk Radio podcast, the original origins of hip hop presented by the Mighty Hebrew. Once again, the title of this show, the original origins of hip hop presented by the Mighty Hebrew. He brought all the evidence out. He brought all the evidence, man. FBA all day. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how we do it. Yay. And until next time, folks, man, I'd like to thank everybody in the chat. Before we get out here, I'd like to thank everybody in the chat that came on and, you know what I'm saying, and participated in the comment section. We hope y'all enjoyed the show. We hope y'all enjoyed the show that's watching live right now. And we hope y'all enjoyed the show. The people that's going to watch in the future. You know what I'm saying? So, any final thoughts, Brother Donya Huda?
I know who you are. Yeah, I know you, Nehemiah. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Hilltop. Yeah, I know who you are, Nehemiah. Yes.
Okay. Brother Donya Huda, any final thoughts?
Yeah, just everybody tap in. Definitely a pleasure having you on here, Mighty Hebrew. You definitely did a powerful PowerPoint today. You brought that history out, man. Definitely gonna watch this a few times. I'm gonna promote it, share it. Everybody do the same. With that, I say shalom. Everybody have a good night wherever you at. If it's a good morning, have that also. And yeah, you went in tonight, bro. I have to give you your props on that. You went in. Definitely a history timestamp that we're gonna have on here forever. So looking forward to the next one.
Definitely.
Shalom.
Once again, appreciate it, Brother Mighty Hebrew, man. And we're gonna say to all the brothers and sisters out there, shalom.
You know what I'm saying? I'm here with the champ.
Thank you, Hilltop.
Yeah.
Yo, this is a good dude, by the way. He hooked up with the champ. He's showing us love and showing us how to maneuver. We appreciate you. You the champ.
Oh, yeah, man. You already know,
Let's
man.
go,
You
champ.
already know.
Salam Sejahtera, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome on board a Malaysia Airlines flight MH4 from Kuala Lumpur to London. My name is Alif Yoska, your co-pilot. With me on the flight.
I fell asleep in Jamaica, woke up in Puerto Rico. I'm talking business with my amigo. Yeah, this shit here easy like a free throw. Bad screaming Hilltop every time I land. In South Asia with a bad thing from Thailand. You know I am. They know I'm the man. I'm not Dominican, but I know Republicans. I know some Africans. I know some Mexicans. Boy, I'm even plugged in way in Pakistan. Got a bad thing waiting on me in Barcelona. She say, where you coming from? I told her Arizona. I'ma push up on her when I leave Cambodia. Then we gon' fly to Jamaica and we gon' roll it up. Then we gon' smoke it up. Then we gon' hit the scene. Ain't no telling where we going, probably the Philippines. Or maybe Costa Rica, or maybe Vietnam. No matter where we go, baby, we going down. And don't you worry about nothing, cause you know I'm on. I got it on me like a racket, this a desert storm. I'm just a Southside baby. You can name a place, but Hilltop done been though. I'm with the dream team, you know we going crazy. All around the world, I'm in there, well.